down there and beat Drew Brees when I don't know how many times they threw it. It was, I don't think, as many times as when they came up here.
83.
But since then, West Lafayette, it's kind of been whatever. I don't think there's anything super exciting. If I'm being honest, nothing super exciting. Hopefully they have some nice walking paths next to the hotel.
Sure.
That's kind of all I really care about now when we get down to these places.
Getting your steps in, that's all you care about?
Something like that. Something like that, yep.
All right. Well, you are departing for West Lafayette tomorrow. Before you do that, we are going to do the show from Steinhoffel's on the east side of Madison. If you wanted to put in your orders for Greenbush Bakery, let me know. I can swing in on my way in, just so they don't feel compelled to just bring us free donuts, which I know some people on this panel were counting on. But I'm happy to stop in on my way in to Steinhoffel since I'll be coming down on 151. All right, so we've got a lot planned for today. But Jesse did a little Facebooking.
Okay.
Jesse, what did you do with your little fill-in-the-blank question on Facebook after Tausch and I disagreed on the choice of the word awesome to describe how the Green Bay Packers' new starting quarterback, one Jordan Love, has been through 2 games?
So the other day, obviously, we had the awesome conversation. Do we recommend anyone that missed it go back and listen on Wisconsin On Demand? Probably. It was pretty.
I think you got a very balanced view of all the good things that Jordan has done and then what the fourth quarter looked like on Sunday in Atlanta.
So, inspired by that discussion, on Monday I put this in the field. And it has gotten a lot of response on the old Facebook, and I think it's worth visiting. When you get 72-plus comments on something, it feels like it's worth investigating.
72
all 72
plus, is that
people.
73 or is that 74?
Well, what it means is
why would you say 72?
I saw 72 as of a few hours ago, and I haven't checked it since to see if anyone else has jumped in. But I'm sure
they were all the people that watched 4 Down Territory on YouTube.
At least one person is going to make it 72 plus. So the fill in the blank question: Jordan Love has been blank through the first 2 games of this Packers season.
Out of 72 plus, 68 of them said awesome.
Not quite, but there's a mixed variety of responses. So before I tip any of the pitches, I think you guys should fill in the blank first. Maybe we eliminate the word awesome and not awesome from the vernacular here for the sake of the conversation.
I wasn't going to use either one of those, by the way.
Okay, well, since you are taking away awesome, I am going to say, I'll say better than expected, but I'm going to say he has been fantastic.
Magnificent. Fantastic.
No, I'm going to
terrific.
say fantastic. Yeah, I think he's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
very
fantastic.
Good. Very good. It is your signature word. I think he's been very good. That was never part of the debate. Just not awesome. Jesse, how have people responded? Lots of fantastics, terrifics, and stupenduses?
I'll just start scrolling from the top here. Judd, the 3rd consecutive Hall of Fame quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
That's a bit strong.
Tristan, a great leader and teammate, drama-free.
Early. A little early for that declaration.
Tell me you don't like Aaron Rodgers without telling me you don't like Aaron Rodgers.
That'll do it. John, better than expected. I wish Tausch was my teacher at every class back in high school since he thought Love was awesome yesterday.
Yeah. John, I don't know if you've looked around how schools are operating, but that's kind of how it is going. So you're in good hands if that's what you're looking for.
I'll just keep going down the line.
Looking for
Joe, playing well.
I wasn't getting involved in that discussion.
Your kids are in school. You know what's going on.
Ray says solid. Not amazing, but solid.
I would say he's been better than solid. I
don't think anybody could look at this and say solid. I mean, you can, but he's been a lot better than solid. Solid is what you kind of say to, no, he has been, I don't understand how anyone could look at, when you look at what other quarterbacks are doing and keeping things in that perspective, how you can't look at this and say, he has been really dang good. Like solid or average or any of that stuff, I can't get on board with. Now, if you don't want to go as far as I'm going, where I think he has been like really good, awesome good, I can understand that because he had a bad fourth quarter. But I'm looking at this from the perspective of he hasn't played. He's been in a system for a couple years, but we didn't know. We had no clue. Kenny Pickett lit up the preseason. He stinks so far in this season. This regular season, he's been god-awful. Jordan Love is nothing like. Jordan Love has been really, really good. And to try to pin this all down on, well, he was 0 for 4 and when he had a 2-minute drill to go get a tutter, and that's how you're denigrating him, I got a hard time getting on board with that. I think that's part of the deal. That's baked into the cake, too. So when I look at this thing holistically, am I being soft on Jordan Love? No, I'm not.
Tausch, his completion percentage is 55.8. Yeah? 55.8. You said during camp when we were keeping the statistics that you can't be around 55%. He's
2 games in. He's 2 games in.
Well, Zach Wilson's completion percentage is 54.2. Deshaun Watson's is 55.1.
Who would you rather have?
That's not the point.
This is, but no, it is the point. This is about projecting. No, for me it is. Maybe for you it's not. But this is about looking at how is he leading your football team and is he making your team better? Deshaun Watson had an opportunity. He didn't get it done either. He's making $240 million. Jordan Love's making peanuts compared to all these other guys.
Kenny Pickett has a higher.
That factors into what's going on.
Kenny Pickett has a higher completion percentage. Justin Fields has a higher completion percentage. I'm not trying to kill him by saying this. I'm just saying that's we don't need to give him charity. 55.8% completion percentage isn't good enough. It's not.
6 touchdowns and 0 picks is. And scoring 24 or 28 points
right,
is.
So we take the whole picture.
No, but you have to look at the whole picture. How's your team built? How are things going? Nobody is saying he's the elitist of the elite quarterbacks. I'm not. I don't think you are.
No one is.
I'm not saying that's where he's at.
Okay. What other responses do we have?
I want his completion percentage to go up, Jason. I want that to be higher. But for 2 weeks, grading him, I don't know how you can look at it and say I can't put Deshaun Watson or Kenny Pickett in the same category as Jordan Love right now.
Well, they're in the same spot in the completion percentage category.
All right, how about QBR since you love QBR so much?
I don't love QBR, actually.
You use it all the time.
No. Quarterback rating and QBR are different. Jordan Love is 4th in the NFL.
Is QBR not quarterback
What
rating?
does QBR mean?
Isn't that what QBR stands for?
No.
What is QBR?
I actually don't know this.
QBR is the statistic that ESPN invented to measure quarterbacks.
But what does it stand for?
It's the ESPN version of quarterback rating. It's not quarterback rating.
So what's the other one? What's the What's the difference?
Passer rating, I guess. If you go to NFL.com, there is not a category for QBR.
Okay.
If you go to ESPN.com, there is. This is actually bolstering your argument if you would allow me to tell you what his QBR is according to ESPN.
Okay.
75.6. It's on a scale of 100. It's not the scale of 158.3, which is perfect for the quarterback rating. He's 4th in the league in that department.
Where's Kenny Pickett?
Behind Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, and Tua Tagovailoa.
It's pretty good.
In passer rating, he is number 1 through 2 games. But if we're going to say, 2 games, you can't look at his completion percentage, then don't we have to say 2 games, we can't look at his passer rating?
You can look at all of it.
And that's all I'm trying to do. I said he was very good. I don't want to do this argument anymore. I don't.
I'm not getting into it with you. I'm trying to tell you. You said what irked me is you said charity case. That's what irked me.
I didn't say charity case.
I ain't doing no
charity
charity case to Jordan Love. No, you said it. And that's the part when you start factoring in, because you're saying, well, he throws 50. Of course we want him higher than 55% completion. Yes, but as we're sitting here, he's made impact plays. He's done really well on third downs. And because he had a poor fourth quarter, you can lump that in and say, well, his completion percentage and all this other stuff. His impact on these games has been noticeable. He has led his football team. His quarterback ranking is here. There ain't no charity here. I ain't giving charity. If I thought he stunk, I'd say he stinks.
Nobody thinks
I don't
he
think
stinks.
that.
Nobody thinks he stinks.
He's top 4 and number 1 in 2 of the most important rankings that they do with quarterbacks. And he's positioned himself with his football team to be 2-0 on the road. That's pretty impressive. So I get that he's 55%. He has not thrown a pick yet. He's got 6 tutters, and he's made a bunch of impact plays on third down. So that's where, to me, quarterback play is, how do you do on third down? Can you stand in the pocket and deliver it when you need it on third down? That's what I look for. That's what coaches, if you miss a first down throw, yeah, of course, you want to be, in today's NFL, you need to be in that 65 to 70%. That's where you need to be. But he's not taking sacks, he's getting rid of the football, and he's made impact plays. That ain't no charity. I'm not sitting here looking at, trust me, I don't have a relationship with Jordan. I'm going to shoot straight with you. I'm not going to sit here and say charity case or anything like that. I don't think it's anything like that. I think he's been dang good to awesome from what I've expected. That's what I've said the whole time. You've gotten back at me. I go back at you. Touche, I don't have a rhyme that goes with that. There's got to be something I could have rhymed, but I didn't. So, no, I am not, but it does irritate me when you say, we're giving him we're treating him
because
on a
why
charitable
can't you
scale. That's not true.
You have to know that the fourth quarter matters in the overall assessment of him. And awesome is a word that is extremely strong in a game. You said he put him in position to be 2-0, but they're not 2-0. They're not. They're 1-1. And he had the ball in his hands with 57 seconds left, and he needed to go 40 yards to set him up for a field goal. If he drives them for a field goal and Anders Carlson shanks it, go ahead. Say he put him in position to be 2-0. But he didn't. And what bothers me is that by doing that, by treating him this way, you make those of us that are saying that he's been very good look like we're being ninnies that are being negative about him. Because we won't call him awesome, because we look at the fourth quarter, and he was 0 for 6. He threw a ball into the opponent's hands that was dropped. We killed Quay Walker and Jair Alexander for dropping picks. Terrell dropped a pick. These all matter. And so I just don't want people to think that because we are evaluating him realistically and pointing out some of the warts on his resume that we don't think he's been very good, because I believe firmly he's been very good. I've said he's been better than I expected. My point is you're talking about schools and how students and how easy it is or whatever that comment was. Aren't you grading in a way that is being a little bit charitable to him to call him awesome? No. Okay, no, you're not going to say that you are, so I'm not going to ask you that again. But I don't know, if you have 8 tests and you flunk one of them, you're not going to have an A, even if you got an A on the other 7 tests. It's going to drag you down. And that's what happened in the fourth quarter. That's all. He has been really good.
Jesse, have we been grading Jordan? I'm not going to grade Jordan Love on the same curve I'm grading Aaron Rodgers. I'm not. You're asking me to grade someone that is graduating high school compared to graduating 4th grade. There's different skill sets. It's different. So I am grading differently than what I would grade Pat Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. That's the difference, and that's where you're saying.
I'm not.
But you're grading him on that same curve.
No, I'm not.
And my point is
0 for 6 is not good no matter which quarterback you are. If Zach Wilson goes 0 for 6 with a dropped pick and gets 0 completions when he takes over at his own 25-yard line with a chance to drive for the game-winning field goal, do you think the version of Wilde and Tausch in New York are still saying that Zach Wilson was awesome? They're not. Now, Zach Wilson has been crappy for most of the other quarters, unlike Jordan Love. Jesse, who else has said awesome or other words in your Facebook search?
Brenda, who's listed as one of our top fans, she's got a little diamond next to her name and everything.
How do you get one of those?
I don't know, but I think it's liking, comment, whatever it is, there's a few of them. Brenda's one of them. Top fan, tier 1 fan on Facebook. Making strides better than Joe Barry. I've been intrigued by some of the responses that have compared Jordan Love's performance to others, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Barry, and the like. Sharon.
So, Jesse, I want you, because Jason and I fundamentally disagree on this. Am I grading Jordan Love too softly? Am I being charitable when I am grading him?
I don't think you're being charitable. I think you could make a case that if you said through the first 2 weeks of the Packers season, what have the strengths of the team been and what have the weaknesses of the team been, if you're making a Venn diagram, one could say, I think Jordan Love would go in the strength portion of the Venn diagram. I think you can comfortably say that, even though there have been moments that haven't been great. Overall, if you're giving him a grade, he's been a strength of the team so far.
That did not answer the question. Also, I think you may have gotten the Venn diagram concept correct. Because if Jordan was in both parts of the circle where they overlapped, then he would not be awesome at all. I would say that he is definitely strongly in the circle of strengths.
I think we could solve this. Okay, so if you judge him on the whole, are you giving him a B? And what letter grade are you giving?
Yeah, B plus, A minus. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you're over there giving him an A plus, giving him extra credit.
No, he gets
for his fourth quarter.
He's got an A. Yeah, he gets an A from me.
Right, because he's in fourth grade. He's not a senior in high school. We can disagree on what the word awesome means, but we can both agree that it applies to Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And now is the time to replace your drafty old windows. Not during the dead of winter, but Pella has a great deal going on right now. You pay as low as $19 a month per window and $75 a month on patio doors. The installation is completed. No mess, no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results behind. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. 6.99% APR financing for 120 months. Certain restrictions do apply. See showroom for details. This offer ends. Boy, it's getting there. 10 days away. September 30th, which, again, we don't have 31 days. So you got 10 days to get this deal.
We got to get ready for Bulaga. He's coming up a little bit later. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Keep the good times rolling every Sunday with GKB founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma.
No rump shaking. Did you say that off the air, Kyle? You got to say that on the air. It was not rump shaking. It was not anything inappropriate. It just was totally irrelevant.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
Because isn't that how GMs get chosen, right? You trade up, in my opinion, cost the team a chance to win a championship.
Sundays from 10 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Well, test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as simple as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI. That's code WI at prizepicks.com/WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around. so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmett's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day Weekend, Labor Day Weekend, Nitro Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977. The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you. We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me. Preposterous. Like, you're not going to miss a game because you don't like playing on. I don't think so. I think it has to 100% to be physically. He's not feeling right. I mean, it's that simple.
That is Adam Schefter with Jen, Gabe, and Shuey in his weekly appearance on that program. You can hear it each weekday, 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I'm not sure. Jesse, can you play that again?
Sure.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me. Preposterous. Like, you're not going to miss a game because you don't like playing on. I don't think so. I think it has to 100% to be physically. He's not feeling right. I mean, it's that simple.
All right, so
preposterous. I don't want to get in a word game with you again, Wilde, but preposterous?
Preposterous is a very strong word. And again, maybe I'm a little more precise in my word choices. I would agree if he is saying it is preposterous that he didn't play as some sort of protest against artificial turf. I would agree that that would be preposterous. If he didn't want to play on turf because he feared re-injuring his knee or it causing more damage and issues and inflammation and things getting worse.
Isn't that kind of saying? Aren't you saying the same thing?
No.
He's not going to play on turf because he doesn't like turf.
But he's not raising a fist saying, I'm not playing on any games on turf because I think it's crap that NFL owners won't play. Just let me. If he's afraid of what's going to happen if he plays on turf to his knee, and his knee is healthy enough to have played on Sunday, but he's worried about the impact it's going to have on him, and he says, I can't play on turf because it's going to be a problem for my knee if I do play on it, or I'm worried I'm going to tear my ACL again, to me that's different than doing it because I refuse to play on turf because it's BS that the NFL still has turf fields. I guess that's the line of demarcation that I'm looking at. I'll be honest, I thought that felt like damage control from his agent. That's what it felt like to me when I listened to him.
Here's the deal, and this is kind of where I've thought the whole time. David doesn't like turf. Turf has been tough on a lot of people's bodies. Turf has gotten better as it's gotten, but it's still not as good as grass, and he has been vocal about this point. He's been on social media. He has been the ringleader as far as I'm out on that. But can both things be true? Yes. And that's why your question, and LaFleur stumbled over it, is, well, would he have played had it been on grass at Lambeau?
I don't believe so.
We didn't really get an answer. So then you could really say, well, if the game was on grass, then it was the turf that mattered.
Correct.
And then Schrader asked him last week, and he didn't answer it. And then LaFleur didn't know. Rasheed Walker did. There's too much circumstantial evidence. And again, I'm not a lawyer. But there's more to this story.
Could be.
And can it also be that David, who had not played a full game in 8 months, his knee did get sore and swell up, and maybe his knee isn't as good as he had hoped it'd be? All of these things can be true. It was how it was handled and how everybody's reacting that is put red flags. If Matt LaFleur came out on Saturday and said, Matt Debach, he just hasn't bounced back from the game at Chicago, his knee swelled up, he ain't playing, none of this would have happened.
Right.
None of that happened.
Downgrade him to out right away on Saturday. Right.
Instead, you talk to Rasheed Walker, he says Debach came up to him and said, hey, man, you're going tomorrow. Did Luke Butkus know that? Did Matt LaFleur know that? Because if they didn't, that's why this has been a story. And you know what? It's real easy to put out a fire, a small fire. You get a little, what's that deal? You either put water or you get the old extinguisher with, I don't know what's in a fire extinguisher, the white stuff that you spray on there. Whatever it is, a little kitchen fire, you put it out. Well, what you've done is you've thrown oil, gas, and everything else on it, and you have flames. And it's like that little gif with the dude sitting in the middle of a room, and there's flames all around him, and he's like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. That's what's happened here. So Adam Schefter, obviously, I'm sure his whole deal, he talks to agents and everything else. There's a financial part to this, too. So the D-box situation, until there's answers, there's no answer. And I hope David just says, you know what, man, my knee, it ain't good. It's been bothering me. The Bears game, it flared up. I couldn't go. And hopefully it's a 1 or 2 week deal and he can get back out there and we can get as many weeks out of David as you can. But all of the circumstantial evidence tells me there's more to this story. And if you don't want to hear it and see it, great, don't. I don't care. But when you're doing this and you're hearing what questions are being asked and the amount of angst that Matt LaFleur's shown tells me people are irritated with how this situation is played out. That's all.
Couldn't agree with you more. If you were doing prize picks.
So is it preposterous? Adam, it's not preposterous at all. Okay? It's not.
I don't know what the more or less line is for David Bakhtiari's snaps on Sunday against New Orleans. I would like to think it will be more than 0.5 if it was like a Taco Tuesday pick for you.
Yeah, there's Taco Tuesday, and I just looked up. There's a free 6-pack entry. You get to put 6 picks in. You get that big return. Daily Fantasy Sports made easy. That's our friends at Prize Picks. There's all kinds of projections. You got the Packers. You can get into every sport you're looking for, and it's not going against other people. It's just you versus Prize Picks. I don't know what I'm going to get into yet this week. I got to take a look, but we got 2 to 6 players, and again, you can get 25x on your money Prize Picks offers projections on every sport, and entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. Download the Prize Picks app, or you can go to prizepicks.com to sign up, and first-time users get a 100% match. All you have to use is the promo code WI. Again, prizepicks.com or use the Prize Picks app.
Brian Bulaga getting ready to nerd out about shades and reaching the
No,
three
don't
tech.
nerding this time. Nope, we're not getting any of that, Jason. I'm not getting into shades and combo blocks and ace it, and maybe I will.
Yeah,
I don't believe you at all. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? That was great.
We'll see.
All you got to do is help a few people out
really
once in a while.
Feedback from some people on that.
Just help people once in a while with terms that they don't know the definition of. Like awesome. He's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Have you been thinking of updating your bath or shower? Well, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Kevin Murat here for Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increased cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is, years of decreasing testosterone has packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Big players show up in big games. Donald Driver and Cousins subs are no different. With the football season upon us, Double D and Cousins are teaming up to offer 80-cent delivery now through Sunday, September 24th on any order of $20 or more. Simply order your favorite subs and sides online or on Cousins mobile app, and we'll deliver them to you. And don't forget, we now offer Apple and Google Pay. Cousins subs. We believe in better.
When you need electrical service, choose the company other companies call. Current Electric has been energizing and illuminating lives in the southeastern Wisconsin area since 1983. They have earned the trust of businesses like Bauer Sign and Lighting, Midas, and Take 5 Car Wash. With 40 years of 5-star service under their belt, they are sure they can earn your trust too. Whether you need residential or commercial work completed or are interested in solar or generators, call the superheroes at Current Electric. Visit callcurrent.com.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The walk-up music is Famous Friends by Chris Young and Kane Brown. And it'll probably get us banned from YouTube if we play it too long, so we better stop. Although I guess we're still paying, so keep playing it the entire time. Bulaga's out with us, yes. He is the former Packers right tackle who loves to talk offensive line play with his predecessor, another former Packers right tackle. He joins us each week, and now he's our teammate at ESPN Wisconsin. It is Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch. Brian, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing? Hey, the walk-up music is perfect because I jump on with a couple famous friends, Tausch and Wilde, in the morning. It's pretty good. I thought it was fitting.
Not only that, but I think the next line is, I've got some famous friends that you've probably never heard of.
Well, see, I only look at it from the famous friends part. I don't look at the other stuff. That's not a big deal.
That's very kind of you.
Everyone's heard of you guys. I mean, come on.
Yes, I'm sure they have. All right. I ask this question very cautiously because old boy and I do not see eye to eye on this. I think Jordan Love has been very good through 2 games. Tausch says he has been awesome. How would you describe how the Green Bay Packers quarterback has been through 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we're like cutting hairs here between awesome and very good, right?
We are.
I think we are. I think we're all kind of in the same boat. I think I kind of agree with both of you, and I think he's been awesome from what the expectations were going into the season, right? No one really knew what you would get. So I think if you look at it from that standpoint, he's been awesome. Then you watch, the games and how he does, and I'm kind of in the boat with Wilde. I think he's been very good. So I think you could look at it both ways. I look at it that I think he's been very good, right? And you look at the first 2 games, I think he's been asked to throw the ball roughly 49, 50 times, right? Obviously 6 touchdowns. It's been really good from that standpoint. I think I want to see what he does when the Packers, and it's going to happen. It should have probably happened a little bit sooner in that Atlanta game based on how poor the run game was, that they put more of this offense in his hands and let him throw the football more. And that's when we're going to see more exposure to how he performs when the ball's in his hands more, would be my take on it. But I think he's been very good. And I think he's been awesome, Tausch, compared to, when we look at what his expectations were going
Bringing
into the
people
season.
together. Brian Bulaga, Iowa.
This is classic Wilde. He says, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And then we barely get you on the line, and he brings it up. So I'm going to move forward. You just said the run game went very good. You watch the film. You break it down. Why wasn't the run game very good?
Man, it was, I just, when I was logged on listening, before commercial, I heard stuff LaFleur said about it's a combination of tight ends, receivers, and offensive line. Like, I think that's a very, company-ish line to say, because we all know the run game starts with the 5 guys up front. It is what it is. And then you start the game without Dave, and then Elton goes down in the second quarter, and now you're bringing in a backup left tackle and a backup left guard. And I think it never looked good. I thought I thought Atlanta did a really good job with their movement up front. I think that was kind of confusing the guys a little bit. I talked about this with Homer a lot on Monday, that 3rd and 1 play. I mean, Newman didn't get up to the linebacker scraping over the top. He hung too long on Grady Jarrett, double teaming with Myers. He hung too long. The backer scrapes over the top, fills the hole. Dillon has nowhere to go. And then the left tackle has to try to wash down a crashing, D-end that penetrates 2.5 yards in the backfield. So then Dillon has to make a jump cut and try to go around it. By the time he gets his feet again, he's got to dive to try to get a yard, and the linebacker's right there. And it was just a lot of that, right? Like, point of attack, too much penetration, not enough movement. And you know what? I hate to keep doing it. I really do, because, like, I get it. I had a year like this where I put together, 3-4 games that just weren't very good. And, like, it just felt like nothing could go right. And it's kind of the same way with the center position right now. Like, I feel like it continues to happen. And obviously, when the center position, and you're going against, Jarrett from Atlanta, really, really good. He could play 3-tech, he can play the shade, he can do a lot of different things. And he was just disruptive, right? They really couldn't move him or get him displaced or do what they needed to do with them. And it was just not good up front. A lot of guys just not finishing blocks or not getting to the second level, not moving people, and that's what happens when you have 21 attempts for 84 yards. I mean, Dillon 15 of 55, like, just wasn't good enough. Just wasn't good enough.
So Blue, are you kind of, because everybody has been really tough on A.J. Dillon, and you look at the stumbling, and he ends up picking off Elton Jenkins with one of his stumbles. It was, so you're not putting this as much on A.J. Dillon. You're saying you're missing two great players with D-Bach not playing and Elton going out as early. You're putting this more on the O-line and specifically those interior three with causing too much penetration, and that's why maybe A.J. Dillon didn't have that breakout game that we all were hoping for.
I think that's part of it. I think that, watching it back again, there's obviously always, like, coulda, woulda, shouldas with running backs. Like, I feel like every time I'd get in the film room after a game, like, oh, I wish the back should have cut back here or this. Like, there's always some of that. And I'm sure he's watching the tape and the coaches are watching the tape and they're teaching that up as well. But I'm going to tell you, it's hard for running backs to get going when there's penetration a yard in the backfield, especially in this zone scheme that LaFleur runs. Like, you need to reestablish the line of scrimmage a yard ahead to get these backs to be able to flow and cut. And when there's no movement up front and it's a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, it's very hard for this run game that LaFleur runs to get moving. So I think the responsibility always comes back to the offensive line. Like, sure, was there a cutback that Dillon could have hit or this? Sure, there is. There's always going to be that in a game. You could say that about Aaron Jones as well. Like, Aaron should have seen that and cut that back behind the guard. Or okay, that's great. But at the end of the day, it's up to the guys up front to reestablish that line of scrimmage, and it's not happening right now, right? And again, missing Bach, missing Elton, it's a big deal. I get it. I'm more than understanding of that. But when guys go in, it's been the same way when I was there. If you go in as a backup, you're expected to win, and it just didn't happen. And that's just what it is.
But again, Aaron Jones is different than A.J. Dillon, and you know this as well as I do. Great backs will help an O-line out too. Missing a tackle, making a great jump cut. And so when you're looking, and I don't want to do this either, but you're kind of bringing this up as the center position when you're talking about this scheme especially, they ask a lot. And if you're going to be successful, that center has to be what Scotty Wells was when we were playing for you and Lindsley and Treader. Do you think if they had their druthers, somebody else would be playing center?
I think if they had a guy that they thought could do it better, I think they would give him a run. I really do. They just don't have that. right? Like, they don't have a guy that they feel can do what Myers does or better. Like, I think that's the whole thing to this, right? Like, and the thing about Myers is I feel like he has all the physical traits, right? He looks like a big, strong kid.
Yep.
It looks like he can move in space, but then he gets up to space and he looks kind of lost, so to speak, right? Like, he doesn't look like he understands the angles properly and things like that, which, again, in this run game, this whole run game is angles. It's all the angles you take, and it's not the old school, 3 yards and a cloud of dust run game. It is an angled, fast-moving, creating a new line of scrimmage, cutting defensive linemen off, creating new points of attack throughout the entire offensive line on any given play, inside zone or outside zone. And the center position is enormously responsible for that. Like, it really is. And I was actually I was watching the Chargers game and watching Lindsley just jump hook shades and two techs and stuff like that, and just completely cutting defenses off and starting a whole new, lane and alley for running backs to go. And that's what currently right now isn't happening, right? Like, because of the guard, it seems like what they've done is what we talked about last week, Tausch. They're hanging the guard a little bit too much now with the center, and it's creating a whole bunch of issues.
Yeah, and they're not getting to shades, and you just dropped a shade reference, which made me smile. Brian, they may have a guy who could do that at center, except he's playing right tackle right now. We'll talk more about offensive line play and shades and hooking guards, and we're also going to talk about David Bakhtiari. That's all still ahead with our friend Brian Bulaga. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Even when you think you know what's going on,
there's two things she counts in the house. One of the pictures. What do you think the other one is?
You can never be too sure.
Viagra.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Are they in the same spot? Are the Viagra in the picture? Are they in the same spot? Well, same drawer.
They are close to one another.
Mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Well, test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as simple as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI. That's code WI at prizepicks.com/WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Hi, it's John Reeds from Great Midwest Bank. An Alzheimer's diagnosis can be devastating and alienating. That's why we're teaming up with the Alzheimer's Association Wisconsin chapter to let you know about the important resources they offer the community. If you have questions about Alzheimer's or other dementia, call their helpline at 800-272-3900. Any day, anytime, free of charge. The Alzheimer's Association provides support groups to both patients and family members. They can also connect you with other people who know what you're going through. Education programs are available for caregivers both virtually and in person. You don't have to face this disease alone. You have the Alzheimer's Association by your side. The helpline phone number again, 800-272-3900. And visit greatmidwestbank.com to learn more about GMB's commitment to community and our Simply Giving mission.
Hi, I'm John McGivern. If you are looking for a Medicare plan with freedom and flexibility, choose a Network Health Medicare Advantage plan. Plans start as low as $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs, plus vision, hearing, and dental benefits. For 40 years, Network Health has been a trusted expert in making health insurance affordable and understandable. Don't wait. Call 833-7-NETWORK today.
Who makes insurance simple? That's easy. Delta Dental of Wisconsin. So if you ask, what company encourages you to use your benefits for regular preventive care? Or who provides quick service online or by phone? Which insurance offers access to the largest provider networks? Or who helps you save money when you need more than a checkup? The answer's the same. Definitely Delta Dental. For dental and vision insurance made simple, choose Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision today.
Q Club of Wisconsin is your hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
That's right, Gary. We've got so much going on here. And of course, you know we're your home for green and gold games every week. Plus, book our VIP area for any of your parties, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. And of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out QClubofWisconsin.com.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Continuing with Brian Bulaga. Brian, did you consider Purdue as a potential destination while you were being recruited?
They offered it. My dad really liked it there and wanted me to go there, and I wasn't really feeling it. So it really was never up for consideration for me. But my dad, for some reason, just absolutely loved Purdue. Not sure why.
Tausch is headed there. He'll grab your dad a hat.
Yeah, I think he liked the whole boiler up thing, and then I think what really sold him was our first visit there. We went for a game, and he said that the chili in the recruit room was just amazing, and I think that's what kind of sold him on it.
Tough to beat chili.
Good chili and a big drum. Yeah, that's tough to do. Well, and they don't have turf. I think they still have grass. Blue, I don't know. You obviously knew we were going to talk about this. I'm sure you did. What do you make of this whole Bakhtiari situation?
So, my thought, and I haven't spoken to Dave about it, and I haven't even asked him. So I'm speaking on just what I think, and what I think is he's got something going on in the knee that he didn't recover from week 1, and. Yep. I look at it from this point of view. If it is a turf thing, right, like Dave has said, or whoever or the training staff has said that we're going to keep him off turf, I can't assume that or confirm that until Dave himself or LaFleur come out and say we're keeping him off of turf because we know what it's going to do to his knee. I have to just assume that he's got swelling in it or it didn't recover from week 1, and that's all I can go off. I mean, honestly.
And what would be wrong with saying what you just said? Because we got people, and I know you and Tausch, not really members of the media. You're analysts. We're trying to keep you separate. Correct. So it's my job to try and get answers. And when people stumble over questions, or when David is asked on Wednesday, is it possible that you just won't play in games on turf? Instead of saying, I don't think that's a conversation we should have, that's not appropriate, I would have actually done the opposite and said, given what it does to my knee, that's a conversation we are having. We need to have it. Not because I'm protesting the existence of artificial turf, but because it could make my knee bad enough where if I play on it in week 2, you're not seeing me again. Grass, concrete, bounce house,
carpet,
whatever, until week 5.
Yeah. I mean, again, I agree with your take on it, like, and how it could or should or will be handled. I don't know. I feel like there's a little, there's some gamesmanship being played, I think, with what they're letting out to the media. So for competitive reasons and this and that. But again, I can't imagine it's Dave protesting artificial turf.
Right.
That's so
preposterous.
I get it's a theory, and I get it, but I can't fathom that. I wonder if it will be addressed at some point. If someone asks, LaFleur that, or if someone gets Dave in the locker room, what is it, Wednesday, and asks him that and kind of see what he says.
He won't be in that locker room.
I'll be looking for him, but I don't think he'll be there.
He'll be in that training room. You know that, Blue.
Yeah, there's a chance, but I'm sure it'll be brought up to the head coach, right? And I'm sure he'll give that his knee is injured, he wasn't ready to go. And my guess is, like I've said, that it just didn't recover from week one, and this is going to be kind of one of those battles weekly that he kind of goes through. His knee issues are well documented, and obviously as a knee guy, that I've had plenty of knee issues. They, sometimes things recover, sometimes things don't, and it's to the point where can you go out there and perform, or are you going to go out there and be a liability? And obviously this one was, he saw it. He couldn't play. He was going to be a liability, or he might have gone out there for a series and been done. And then the backup left tackle has to go rush in there on emergency duty, which is probably one of the worst things you have to do as a backup lineman, is just get thrown out there, and it's hard to do. So that's what I'm going with. What comes out in the next few days, maybe weeks, we'll see. I mean, obviously, if he plays this week, obviously a huge boost based on, the Saints defense is pretty good. But
Right.
It'll be interesting to see. You know what I mean? It just will be.
Right, and then whether or not he's ready to go on Thursday again on a short week is another whole issue.
Yeah. Are they on the road or at home for that?
Home. They're at home against the Lions.
Home. Grass.
All right. So
that's a grass
home,
game.
Home grass. you Tausch, you are potster.
Well, no. So Blue, I agree. I agree with your sentiment that there's obviously he played a full game, hadn't done it, but the whole situation just smells fishy to me, and that's why I keep bringing it up, because there's Matt LaFleur. Jason said that he talked to Rasheed Walker, and Dave told him on Saturday to be ready to play. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and this. Communication is everything. Just communicate it and be done with it, and nobody be talking about it. But that's not what happened, and that's why I think something stinks a little bit. But I do hope that Dave, it's just some minor swelling, and that David can get back out there. But I think there's more to the story, and I don't know if we'll ever hear it. Be fascinated to see. Now, you never looked at it from that perspective, right? It was if your knee felt good, you were going to go play. It wasn't, if you have a game and you can play, you go play. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. I mean, I looked at it as I knew that the turf games were going to beat up my knee way more than the grass games. That was something that I knew the way my body felt, not just my knee, right? The knee was a whole different issue, but just the way your body feels after a turf game. You knew once you step on it and you play and you actually play a game, not practice on it, your body is going to be a train wreck for the next 3 to 4 days, right? So I always looked at it from, if the knee's good enough to go, I'm going to go. I'm going to play. I never really looked at it from a turf grass standpoint. Would I always want to play on grass? Yeah, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Every day of the week I'd rather be on it. But, that's not reality right now in the NFL. You got to play on turf. That's the way it goes. So if it is that, as you said, it smells fishy, which it is interesting. It's a very... and he looked good throughout the game against the Bears. Looked great. It looked like he was limping around. And then, obviously he's going to be in the injury report. He's always going to be on the injury report. I was on the injury report every week. That's just the way it was. And then he doesn't practice, but he hasn't been practicing. And then, it comes out Sunday that he's inactive. Now, if Walker had said, David already told him that, hey, be ready to go, that means that decision was probably made. Right, that decision was probably made.
At least by David.
But
that's the interesting part.
At least by Dave.
That's the interesting part.
Yes. Was it confirmed with the team or not? I don't know. But I mean, from Dave's, I don't know, and I'm not going to assume. My relationship with Dave and my friendship with Dave is that he's a professional, right? Like, and I've never seen anything different from Dave. So I don't think he's pulling one. Like, I just don't see that out of Dave. And for how good of a player he is and how much of a professional he is, I just don't see that. So I'm sticking to my guns that I just feel that it didn't turn around quick enough for him. And his first full action, the thing swelled up and he couldn't pump that fluid out of there in time to play. That's my guess.
Would have been a great thing for everyone to say.
I think we all agree that makes the most sense. But this other stuff makes no sense. And it could be taken care of right away, and nobody has. And that's interesting to me. So,
Brian,
hopefully he plays and plays well on Sunday.
Brian,
I agree, because they need him.
Before you go, speaking of needing them, or needing him, Elton Jenkins is not going to play. Unfortunately, you and Tausch are both experts in the realm of not only taking out shades, but also in knee injuries. He's got an MCL tear. We don't know the severity of it. I'm curious, what is he up against to get back sooner rather than later? And how do you feel about what do you do in his place? Because he is a really, really good player. And Royce Newman, there were those of us that were wondering if he was going to make this roster. There was some talk about what kind of a training camp Sean Ryan, a third-round pick a year ago, had. Matt LaFleur said it was going to be a competition during the week. So what would you be doing if Luke Butkus called you and said, Blue, what do you think we should do here?
Yeah, if he called me and asked, I would probably give the Ryan kid a shot, right? Like, and because we've kind of seen what we've seen from Newman up to this point, right? We saw last year he went in against Atlanta and it looked very similar. And again, I'll repeat it. It's hard to go in as a backup. It just is. It's a tough spot. I mean, Cliffy did that to me a couple times, and it was very scary. We'll just put it that way. Because I never knew when Big Clip when something would happen to him. I never knew when it would happen. It's
true.
So I always had to be on my
Bad
toes.
sushi, he's got stuff.
You just never know. So I understand it from that standpoint. But after the first series, you kind of work into a rhythm of the game, right? And he just never looked comfortable. And he never looked like he got into a rhythm of the game, which a guy that has that much experience should be able to do it. So if it's me and Butkus calls me and asks, I'm gonna start the Ryan kid and see how it goes. You can always make a change, and I get it. Making changes aren't good mid-game. I understand it. But I think we've seen what we've seen from Newman, and I think that's where we're going to be on it. And, hey, man, it's a tough gig. I get it. It's not easy playing guard in the NFL. It's not. But I think you got to change something up and just see, right? When guys get on the field in a competitive and game environment, things switch for some guys, and a light can turn on. And maybe that's what is going to happen with Ryan if he gets his number called. From Elton's standpoint, like you said, it all depends on the grade of this tear, right? If it's a grade, and if he's missing time already, it's got to be a 3, I would imagine, a big 2 or a 3 grade, which is a nasty one. I mean, I've had plenty of them. I've played on plenty of them. They're not comfortable. Brace it, tape it, do everything you can to try to make it manageable. But if it's a big tear, like a grade 3 or hopefully not a grade 4, he's going to miss some time because that thing, because it's the lateral pushing off is what the MCL does. So when you push off on the inside of your foot, that MCL is torn and it just opens wide. It's just like your knee's just moving wide open. And then that exposes the ACL and meniscus, and you just can't do it, especially when Elton's already had an ACL, I believe, right? Yeah, he had an ACL.
Yep, same leg, too.
Okay, so you can't expose it. And, if it was a grade 1, he probably would be out there this week or a light grade 2, but you got to imagine it's a nasty one, and because Elton's a tough dude. I mean, he really is. He's tough as nails, and for him to be missing time, it's got to be somewhat of a significant tear, would be my guess in my experience with him. So,
Dr. Bulaga, I love it.
I like that, Dr. Blue.
I mean, as a guy that's torn his MCL a few times.
I know.
Right?
Trust me. We know more about it than we want to. I think both of us can say that. Blue, before we let you go, as we've run way late as normal, have you ever seen anything that we saw with that quarterback sneak? Fawn-like. It looked like Jordan Love was a baby fawn. I thought they were faking it. He didn't give you have anything like that happen with you, with Rodgers, that when he came up and did a signal, or was there anything like that ever happened to you?
No. I mean, if anything, he'd get mad because we didn't run it properly, right? Like, and he wouldn't get the first down, and he'd be mad at us. Like, I get that. But there was never a time where he asked for the ball, tried to sneak it, and no one moved. I mean, it just never happened.
That was fun. I mean, it sucked that it happened, but now that you're looking at the film of it, it's pretty fun to watch.
My only guess would be this is like knowing the offense and kind of the way the operation goes. Like, they probably went up to the line. Jordan said, "Hey, we're going to dummy until I give a live call. If I see it." Yep. Probably in his mind, he said it and wanted the ball, and he didn't pass that along to everyone else.
He said the wrong word. That's what he explained. He said the wrong word.
Yeah, see, us linemen are creatures of habit. You got to tell us exactly what you want, and then we'll do it. If you don't tell us, we're not going to do it because, hey, if we snap that rock and the quarterback's not ready for it, oh boy.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Precisely.
So, like, hey, you know what? I'll give him credit though. Him manning up to that and saying that.
Loved it.
Man, that's what you want to see from a leader. I will tell you that much. That is.
Yep.
I'm proud that he did that, right? And kind of covering for his guys like that. I know he says it was his fault and all that, and I get that. But you know what? That's manning up to that. I can appreciate that.
No doubt.
That
was awesome.
Yep,
it was
really
awesome.
Just like Aaron Rodgers always did. It was always his fault. He was always the first one to tell you. All right, Brian, we appreciate your time. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Take care.
The 10 o'clock hour will start about 10:15. That's 2 minutes away. Thanks to Brian Bulaga.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Get ready. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale September 22nd. Secure your spot and prepare to unleash chaos, make mayhem, and watch stars come to life in the spotlight of postseason baseball. The Brewers' moments you live for are coming. Make sure you don't miss a single pivotal pitch or season-changing home run. Get your Brewers postseason tickets at brewers.com/postseason.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Daniel Hollab is with me. OAW offers a robotic partial knee replacement. What is that, and who would be a candidate?
We see a lot of the weekend warrior, maybe people that have played sports their whole life or had a knee injury somewhere along the line that now has led to a very isolated patch of arthritis in a portion of their knee, which traditionally may have been treated with a full knee replacement. Nowadays, we have very accurate computer-assisted robotic technology that allows us to target that small patch of arthritis and do a very limited replacement. This procedure tends to be minimally invasive. It's an outpatient procedure. It tends to need a little bit less of a recovery period, and it leaves you with most of your own knee. We've replaced the arthritic portions of your knee. You're able to lead a more active lifestyle after this type of a procedure.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Heading up north for some golf? Be sure to book a tee time at the Ball Golf Course, an Arnold Palmer masterpiece just north of Milwaukee on the way to Kohler. It's the best destination for your next Wisconsin round of golf. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
This is Ben Brust. Hear me every day on KBN from 2 to 5. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Now all my dreams are coming.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with one of the many things that Brian Bulaga said. If you missed him, you can catch the entirety of his appearance and everything else you need podcast-wise on Wisconsin On Demand. You can also go back to last week and hear all the insights that he and Tausch had on Zach Tom, or read them in the Wisconsin State Journal. But, Tausch, I thought it was interesting that he suggested that maybe you give Sean Ryan the opportunity to start at left guard because we kind of know what we've seen from Royce Newman. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I can understand where he's coming from on that, and I'm sure they're going to take a look because you kind of know at this point where Royce Newman is, and I know everybody crushed him. He started 16 weeks, his rookie campaign, and did some good things, and obviously they were looking for more consistency and better play. And just because he played that way as a rookie, you get him back out there and see. And Brian breaks down that film a lot more in-depthly than I think most people. And it was pretty evident to me he thought the interior three didn't do a very good job. He'd been very tough on Josh Myers. And the way you slow down and stop this offense is by getting penetration in the backfield and not allowing you to get your run game going. And last week they didn't do, the O-line did not do the job that was needed. So I think you want to give people opportunities to show what they can do. So I would think you do almost like a guard share program. Maybe give Ryan a crack at it, start him, and go 2 series, kind of see how things are playing, and let him go. Let him see if he is going to be an upgrade, working combo blocks and getting up on linebackers. You drafted him in the 3rd round. You obviously feel like he has that athleticism and the skill set that should translate into this offense in a good way. So it just seems as if, listening to Blue, at Josh Myers, he is not getting it done to the level. And I'm not shocked by that because typically when you have a starter that's established himself, there's not like an open competition. That's not something coaches say. They've said that all camp. He, I believe, begrudgingly won that job, and it's still, some of those things are still showing up on film, that you're giving too much leakage. You're not getting the job done the way they want you to, and that's limiting what the effectiveness can be. But I think at this point, this is kind of where this group is, especially if D-Bach's knee is bad, that he can't play again, and Elton Jenkins, who I'm guessing is going to be listed as out for this week. Now you really need to solidify things and try to get this going in a positive direction with your run game.
How nervous are you when you look at how good the Saints defense, and again, I understand that it's only 2 games, so statistics you have to be a little bit careful about, but they're giving up 16 points a game through 2 games. They're dominating on 3rd down, and now you're not going to have one of your best offensive linemen, and your other best offensive lineman is going to be playing after not playing last week, we think, because the game's on grass. That you guys talk all about how the offense and defensive line are what establish everything in a game. The Saints have owned the line of scrimmage in both of their games so far this season.
They have, but they've also not been very good against the pass. So they've been good against the run. they have some guys. They got some players that are going to cause you some problems, but that's where this Jordan Love growth plan is going to showcase itself. If you don't have Aaron Jones, which I don't know, we'll be curious to see what happens at practice today, and I'm sure he'll be pushing to play. I'm sure Green Bay is going to try and be as conservative with him as they can so that this doesn't become an issue all year. But they're going to need to run the football a lot more effectively than what they have, and that's to set up the passing game, which coordinators always look at these analytics and, well, this is where they're weak, this is where they're strong. Let's find a way to pick at their weaknesses. Well, throwing the football and trying to do that is what's going to probably be a big part of this game plan. Well, you have to be able to protect. Green Bay's win rate on protections has been very high, even missing Elton and David. Now, it's a lot different, as we saw at the end of a game, when you don't have that play action, you don't have all of that motion and moving parts. When they can just line up and run their blitz packages at you and get after Jordan Love, it's a lot more difficult to protect the quarterback. And that's what Green Bay is going to have to stay away from if they're going to try and win this game Sunday.
Let's play some trivia. It is Wednesday. We are not doubling up. That means it's Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. Not to be confused with the game being played by 565 Analytics every day, which I believe Tausch is playing along to, and I haven't seen the right answers. Do they eventually get given? I put Sister Bay down, which is, I thought, almost the northern tip of Door County, and it's close. And Geriad just comes back, or whomever's running 565 Analytics. Sorry, incorrect.
Comes back and says, you're 0 for 4 or whatever. Well, tell me what the answer is. What are we doing? Don't say, way off, Tausch, old T. I'm not way off. Sister Bay, it's not like I said, it's not like I went and said Superior or Duluth, which isn't even in the state. I said something close to the tip of Door County.
Duluth would have been a bad answer, yeah, for sure.
That would have been.
Yeah, it would have been, and I did say
bad.
that.
Yeah.
Let me double check here. No, Duluth, not one of the answers for today's trivia. All right, caller 10 right now. Caller 10, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 10 for Wilde and Tausch trivia. But before we can play, Tausch will tell you about AmFam.
Badger fans, American Family Insurance, they want to give you and a friend a VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game during the 2023 season. You and a friend will receive pregame sideline or courtside passes, a tour of the facility, and tons of merchandise to support your Wisconsin Badgers. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. No purchase is necessary. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. From the tee box to the green and everything golf-related in between.
Who's number one?
Max.
Yeah, Max Homa's number one. It's not even close, right?
On the tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson.
Just because he's been so open and honest already, you get a couple drinks in that guy, like, how open is he going to be?
On the tee with Gabe and Stephen, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Tuesday night at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, and available with Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Broommate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
I've been living with the snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently, when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by Big Box Healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977.
Check out our brand new Hyundai dealership, one of the largest in the Midwest.
Step inside of our state-of-the-art showroom where you can view our new Hyundai models and some of our finest certified pre-owned.
We've also expanded our service center, staffed by our factory-certified technicians.
And right next door, we've started construction on our all-new Genesis of Waukesha dealership.
But we're not just building walls, we're building careers.
So if you're looking for a career with great benefits and opportunity for growth, Boucher is the place for you.
At Boucher, we ride with you every mile.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
This one goes out to the one I love.
This one goes out to the one I left behind. Well, REM bringing us back. Let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Kelly in a truck. Kelly, good morning. How you doing today?
Good. Who hate REM? Thanks for bringing me into with that garbage. But anyways, what are you guys doing?
Way to go, Jesse.
This is not the same Kelly that could tell me when Murder, She Wrote is on, though. That's correct. This is a different Kelly.
No.
Okay.
No.
I think it's on Sundays at 7, or at least used to be. All right, Kelly, let's play Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia. If you're in a truck and you drive by any of these locations, that would be fortunate for you. So let's see. Question number 1.
Now I'm feeling Fond du Lac, so we'll find out.
All right, question 1.
Fond du Lac. Oh, okay.
Question 1.
51, Jason. Yep.
Question 1.
Yep.
Rebranded in 2022, the minor league baseball team now known as the Sky Carp call which of these Wisconsin cities home? Is
Beloit.
It is Beloit.
Nice.
Kelly, not messing around.
Yeah, you know what?
No, I don't know.
You know what we got going on right now?
Yeah, we got
perfect
Wisconsin
week
Geography trivia going on. Question 2, Kelly. Question 2, Kelly. Which of these attractions is located in the village of Hubertus? Hubertus. Is it the House on the Rock, Holy Hill Basilica, or the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame?
Ooh. Holy Hill Basilica.
Dang.
Tausch, you're really helping him out
That's
here.
impressive.
Kelly gets around. He drives a lot.
I don't even get it. I don't even hear the whole question. Kelly's got it done. Great work.
All right, Kelly.
Aaron Hills. Aaron Hills is very, very close to that.
All right, question
Great
3.
area. Beautiful area of the state.
Question 3. No pressure at all on this Wednesday Wisconsin geography trivia. Longitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest east? Farthest east. Is it Mount Horeb, Mount Pleasant, or Mount Vernon?
Mount Pleasant.
Tausch.
I'm going to agree. I believe that's the furthest east. I know Mount Horeb's out. Mount Vernon, I'm not 100% sure. I think because Mount Pleasant is where that fox comes
from Mount Horeb. So,
all right. Well, then I definitely feel good about Pleasant.
As well, you should. Kelly, you're 3 for 3. That gives you 4 entries into Friday's drawing. A little bit of a twist, actually, this week. We're giving away a Michael Stipe REM-themed prize pack. So hopefully you'll get lucky.
Wow. I'll throw that in the burn pit Saturday night with our players. So I'll look forward to that.
What's the frequency, Kelly? Yes, indeed. All right. Well, we'll see how you do. It is not a Michael Stipe REM prize pack. It'll be an ESPN Wisconsin prize pack that Kelly and others will be competing for. That drawing will be, of course, on Friday. We got to get to Homer, but before we do that, Tausch, raise a glass of Tito's to our old pal Homer, who'll be joining us next.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batched cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Homer is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and as a community bank, we sincerely appreciate our customer loyalty. Over nearly 90 years, we've done all we can to return the favor. Great Midwest Bank offers flexible solutions that bigger banks and credit unions simply can't, because our entire team is right here in the community. We love helping our neighbors when we're at work and then catching up over the weekend. Visit us at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. Right, Sammy? And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Hey,
it's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust. Men can be their own worst critics, especially as we get older and compare our current self to the younger version. The experts at Forward Healthy Lifestyles in Germantown help men with testosterone optimization, regenerative medicines, heart health screenings, weight loss, and yes, sexual enhancement services. Forward Healthy Lifestyles can offer regained energy and endurance, more muscle and tone, enhanced performance, joint therapies, and more. Change your life and stop comparing who you are now to who you used to be. Visit forwardhealthylifestyles.com for a free consultation.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
2 games into the season, and the Packers' run offense remains a work in progress. The ground game averages 2.9 yards per carry against the Bears and manages 3.1 yards per rush against the Falcons. While success in the run game begins with the offensive line and running backs, head coach Matt LaFleur believes all 11 players need to be better in that phase of the game.
Whether you're an offensive lineman, tight end, running back, we got to be more physical at the point of attack. It's never just on one person.
The 1-1 Packers welcoming the 2-0 Saints to Lambeau Field Sunday for the home opener. Kickoff is set for noon.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Tailgating is back, Wisconsin. Have you ever wondered how tailgating started? One theory is that it started during the first college football game in 1869, as spectators spent their pregame ritual grilling sausages at, of all places, the tail end of a horse. Another is that tailgating started in 1919 during the first Green Bay football season. Fans backed up their pickups to the field, folded down their tailgates for seating, and served food and beverages. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Since 1960, we've been the place to stock up for all your tailgate rituals. With over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines, Discount Liquor is your one-stop tailgate shop. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure
you know what that music means. You hear him every weekday, 5 to 6 on the Homer Hour, which features Brian Bulaga, John Anderson. I join him a couple times a week. I have to admit, I miss our everyday chats. You also hear him on the Marquette Men's Basketball Radio Network. And you can catch him on God Talk by Faith with Homer and Pip on YouTube. It is Steve the Homer. True Homer, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. We're working on Gary Player for My Faith. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. Yeah. I didn't know he was still with us. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we got to get him soon.
I didn't mean that. I just wasn't aware. That's awesome.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he's old.
What do you mean that's not what you thought? You just said you didn't even think he was alive yet.
Well, but I didn't. I guess I didn't then, once he said that he was scheduled to appear or hopefully appear, I didn't think, well, you better get him soon because he's going to die. I just thought he'd already not.
You just thought he was dead already. Oh, okay.
Correct, yeah,
Good
just
enough.
to be clear.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not,
You
though.
guys have a great argument over awesome. I don't like to be in the middle, but it's very tough
you do.
because he has been awesome. But
yeah,
he didn't do anything in the fourth quarter now. So, and I'm not rating this. He leads the league in quarterback rating, but that's odd because he has the lowest completion percentage of any quarterback ever leading the league, even after 2 games. He's completed like 55. Usually if you complete that percentage you're like ranked 35th or 50th. So
Yeah,
I
he's
can't-
got 6 touchdowns and no picks. That's what
correct
gives him that
but that's
number.
But the point is that's not going to continue. So therefore, he's going to have a significant drop off, I think, from passer rating. But to this point, the only reason I have to lean toward Tausch is because they were missing 4 players, and they still scored 24 points. Given the number of offensive players, you have to give him a benefit, and this has nothing to do with who he is, that he's a rookie or whatever, but to score 24 points missing that many players, even though he did nothing in the fourth quarter, it's a very close call, but I'm going to have to lean with Tausch because of that. Don't you think you would have taken 24 points, however you get them, with those 4 players missing?
Nah, it's just okay. Nah.
Don't do that. That's not what I've argued.
You guys aren't that far apart. He's saying very good. Don't
exactly.
do for Wilde what you do for me. Don't speak
okay,
for
that's
Wilde.
fair. But yeah, I just you have to not everybody is graded on the same scale. Like it's
They are by
he's
me.
Not,
well, then how can you lean to Tausch then?
So you're
for 6
grading
in the fourth quarter.
Again, he's number 1. You're saying, how has he played for 2 weeks? He's number 1 in the league in passer rating. He has 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. And while what you say, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, not because of anything other than that players were missing. If he had to play with the 10 people working for Good Karma, you would factor in his performance given that injury.
Well, where would you line up
regardless of
in
who
that?
the quarterback is.
Where would we put you in that set? Are you a tight end? Where are we playing you?
No, he's
I am a punter. I'm a
For
punter.
sure he's a punter.
Just to clarify.
But every quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, would get the same benefit that Jordan Love does if he's missing his top 4 offensive players in terms of assessing his performance.
So, Homer, where would you put okay, so we're through 2 weeks, and I'm done with the awesome, very good. It's worn me out. I'm not going to lie to you. It's worn me out.
That I find hard to believe, but go ahead.
Well, it's been where you got him. You got him as an A. You got him A+. You got him at I don't think anybody's going to say anything worse than a B. And if you do, I'm not going to take what you're saying at face value.
You mean his
Where
performance to this time? Hey,
yeah,
it's an A.
how he's done through 2 weeks. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an A. He leads the
Which
league
A stands
in
for
quarterback
awesome.
rating. He leads the league. He has 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. He will never be this good the rest of his career, I don't believe, at any point.
What the hell does that mean?
I hope he is.
I don't think he will have another. Hold on. He will never have another season after 2 games with 6 touchdowns and 0 receptions and be the leader in the league in quarterback rating. That will never happen the rest of his career.
Yeah, well, I hope he has 2 games in a row where he has 6 touchdowns and no interceptions
He could.
at some
That's
point.
first 2. At some point, I would say that's possible, yes.
Okay. All right. Where are you at on David Bakhtiari these days?
Well, this is all created by LaFleur because he's a soft coach and he wants to give the players the benefit of the doubt. When in this case, it's tough for him to do. All this has been created by Matt LaFleur. All he would have had to say with the first question after the game, David is hurt. He doesn't practice. Some games he can play, some games he can't. He was too hurt to play. Next. And you could ask 50 questions. Why he is so upset can only be because he has a conflict. Very soft to the players. He thinks that's the way the head coach. But he's irritated, obviously, at Bakhtiari because I think he thought Bakhtiari was going to play, and he believes if Bakhtiari had played, they would have won the game. Now, so now what is he supposed to do? He doesn't know what the hell to do. Now, I don't know what Bakhtiari Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think your assessment, and Jason, I guess if Matt LaFleur had just come out after the game and said, yeah, his knee had just flared up and he can't go, nobody asks a follow-up, and there's no, right? No. Did anybody have any follow-ups if he does that?
No. There's no conjecture at all.
There you go. So the question, Windy, why would he go through what he did? Why would it? Homer's assessment, I don't like doing this very often. Homer's assessment makes a ton of sense to me. He was pissed. He was irritated. He was still agitated about it at 4 o'clock on Monday. The same thing.
But he will not take a shot at a player. Even in this case, I don't believe, based on his behavior, he has ever been as mad at a player as he is and has been at David Bakhtiari.
Right.
Jason, do you agree? Do you agree?
No, I am sure there were times when he was angry with Aaron Rodgers, and he would never say boo about him either publicly. And this actually, it's not Aaron Rodgers, so I guess he was willing to. Maybe, but so do you think, and I know I don't like asking you what you think someone else thought, but do you think... Yeah, I know. Do you think LaFleur thought he could play?
No, he thought he was going to play. No one knows his condition, and they have accepted. I mean, this is the part I don't get. When you're okay with a guy never practicing, you can never know for sure until 6 hours before the game, because his knee could go bad. You've presented and created that situation. So I think that he thought he was going to play. Now, did Bakhtiari say he was going to play? I don't know. But I think he thought he was going to play.
Yeah, I'm still...
And I don't know what the arrangement is.
No, nobody does. The part of this that still is dumbfounding to me, and I was convinced, and I said numerous times after the loss to Detroit, that if Aaron Rodgers isn't back, Dave Bakhtiari's not going to be back. They're going young. They did all that. They went away from Mercedes. They went away from Mason Crosby, Adrian Amos. They went young, but they decided to pay full freight on David Bakhtiari. And I wonder, looking back, and especially you can't be hindsight, but why do you think they did that, Jason?
Because they think he's that important for Jordan Love to have a good year, that he's that good as a left tackle. That can be the only reason. And I think they're right. And the issue here is for David Bakhtiari, all right, look at, I believe in David Bakhtiari to play in as many games as possible for the Green Bay Packers. And they've given him, and I think that based on what he didn't play because he thinks that will help him play the most games possible for the Packers.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't know if that's 14.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And so that's why the whole thing with LaFleur is just so bizarre. Like,
doesn't make any sense.
Do you not believe in Bakhtiari anymore? Did you not? Well, I don't know what it is, but everything Bakhtiari does, I believe, is so that he serves the team the best by getting and taking a plan that gives him a chance to play the most games, not just for him but for the team. I, for example, don't think there's any way he plays the next 2 games. I would assume he'd play this one and not Thursday, just thinking with the knee like that, those games are so close. The fact that the second one is on artificial turf really is a minor factor to me, but it might not be. If he believes he's more likely to get hurt on artificial turf, which would limit the number of games he would play with Green Bay, then he might not do it. You have to believe that he knows what's best to get the most games for the Packers, and I believe in him that way.
And
but
if he said
I
that,
can't prove it.
And if he said that publicly, you'd be okay with it.
Yes,
I would be too.
And LaFleur should say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're going to have their messaging buttoned up by today.
What?
Yeah. I think they're going to have their messaging buttoned up today.
Maybe.
No, they
but
will.
I don't know that I would ever trust Bakhtiari. If I'm the team, I wouldn't know that for sure.
Homer, you got
at least for this week. I think they're going to button this up for this week.
I'll defer to you. I'm just saying, I'm sure there were coaches
David's gonna say
who... Yeah, he's apt to say whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
He's going to say what he wants.
He might wait a week.
He will.
He might wait a week.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, we will find out from him what his version of the story is. Not maybe now, but at some point.
I agree with that 1,000%.
Maybe on the Pat McAfee show.
Probably.
Nice.
Because he knows that would irritate people.
From one punter to another. Homer, you got a couple more minutes to stick around?
I do.
All right, more with Uncle Homer straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The Crusaders are rolling.
They're not going to catch him. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, M.J. Mitchell.
On Friday night, Catholic Memorial takes on the New Berlin West Vikings. Our coverage with Gabe Neitzel and Mike Podol on the call starts at 6:30. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by the Bray Team at Shore West, Gerald Nell Inc., Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Mid-City Sports, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Edge Leadership, and Urchel Real Estate Group.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window. They're great professionals, Gina, and some of the best in the world at what they do.
Right now, pay as low as $19 a month per window or $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack. We're in the middle of September. How is your gambling going? It is time to make some money, and I have got a deal for you. My once-a-month $99 weekend special. Go to FatJackSports.com, and this weekend only, it's only $99 to make money all the way through Monday. That's all the football, NFL, and college, and the free bases, only $99. Go to FatJackSports.com. Sign up today, and in September, into profit, stop guessing, and start winning at FatJackSports.com.
There's a race going on inside your body, and sometimes the bad guys, otherwise known as arthritis, get there first. That's when the joint pain kicks in.
Your healing process is just too slow and just can't catch up, and it needs just a little bit of help from QC Kinetics.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a QC Kinetics medical director.
We all know that you can heal yourself. If you get a cut, it heals on its own. Your joints are no different. We can take the healing properties from your blood, concentrate them down, and put them in the spot that you need the help. It's amazing. Your body can heal itself.
At QC Kinetics, that's called regenerative medicine. No surgery or steroids, just lasting relief, the natural way.
The fact that we can treat them without surgery, but using their own body's natural healing process, without medications, without steroids, without surgery, it's just amazing.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
The Waukesha Gun Club offers the perfect outdoor activity this weekend. Stop out and learn to shoot at one of Wisconsin's largest shotgun-only clubs. The Waukesha Gun Club features sporting clay courses, trap, and skeet ranges. Safety personnel will be on site to help answer your questions. Make plans now to enjoy the beautiful fall weather at the Waukesha Gun Club, just 1 mile north of I-94 at exit 295. Get more info at waukeshagunclub.org. Learn to shoot this weekend at the Waukesha Gun Club. Stop out and try something new.
Announcing the former All-Star Buick GMC is now the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Oak Creek. And the former John Paul's Buick GMC is now the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Greenfield, Milwaukee's Buick GMC headquarters. Greg Cunis was recently named Time Magazine's Wisconsin Automotive Dealer of the Year. Plus, Cunis dealerships have been awarded Top 100 Best in the U.S. by the Automotive News the past 9 years. Our mission is to bring the Cunis Auto Group's unequaled customer satisfaction and service to our friends in the greater Milwaukee area. Cunis Milwaukee Buick GMC stores have the area's largest pre-owned car, truck, and SUV inventory with over 3,000 vehicles available on lot or online and always at a price and payment you can afford. And all new and pre-owned Cunis vehicles come with our exclusive no-fear lifetime warranty coverage at no extra charge. So buy like a champion at the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Oak Creek, 7020 South 27th Street, or Cunis Buick GMC of Greenfield, 3615 South 108th Street. Milwaukee's Buick GMC headquarters.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Continuing with Uncle Homer. Homer, we spent some time with your, I don't want to call him sidekick, co-host on the Homer Hour a couple times a week, Brian Bulaga. How much are you learning about offensive line play by spending time with Dr. Bulaga, and how much are you learning about knee structures as well? Because he was in the educational mode with us today.
Yeah, well, everything he's interested in, he's obsessed with information and research and knowing. So, as much as I want to listen to, Aaron Rodgers said once, I'm not a very good listener, and I think there's some accuracy to that. But I'm more fascinated by learning more about him and just the level of a student that he is, which makes it even that much more bizarre that he doesn't have a college degree. But I'm going to get his mom on to take care of that.
She is an avid supporter of his work.
That's actually a great bye week. When we're on the bye week and you got Blue on, you get Mrs. Blue, and I think that's a great idea. Push him to make sure he gets his degree.
Yeah, I said I'll get a degree if he'll get a degree. If he'll take the 28 hours, I'll take whatever hours if it's reasonably close to that to get a master's.
How do you not have a degree? How do you not have
I would get a master's. I would get a master's.
Oh.
It wouldn't be
okay.
Theology, finance, something like that. But I just wanted to make the point that I think enough of it that, and if he doesn't do it, then there's no way I'll ever get a master's. I want to be be a unicorn in my family. I'm the only one that doesn't have a master's.
You've brought that up before.
Wouldn't you then just be normal? You'd be a unicorn if you don't then, if everybody else has one. No.
Correct. That's right. Maybe I misspoke. That's correct.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Many have.
That's all right.
Some also have PhDs. So I'm down at the bottom in many ways.
Well, you're more of an edutainer.
That's true.
Good one.
The original one, he also has a PhD. But thanks for trying.
Sorry.
Okay.
So Homer, Brian, when he wasn't getting into knees and everything else, was very critical of Josh Myers for the second week in a row. And we were all tough on A.J. Dillon, and I still think A.J. Dillon left some yards on the field. But after he's breaking down the tape, and he's getting in there, and there's some leakage, and the defensive line of Atlanta really got after Green Bay's O-line, especially in the middle. So what do you do if you're Green Bay here when you're struggling like that? You don't have Aaron Jones back yet, potentially. Do you look at this and say, this is going to be a Jordan Love week? We're going to throw it because New Orleans, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, not very good against the pass, correct?
I'll get you those statistics while Homer talks.
They have a couple guys that create a lot of pressure. But I would say this. I mean, we don't know until we find out who's not playing. But the answer to the question is, whatever Dr. Bulaga says to do, that's what they should do. For example, you didn't ask it, I don't think. I may have missed that part. So who's he play at center? I want to know each week because it's very easy for him to be critical when he thinks it's necessary to say. So I'd like to know what his offensive line would be. He'll be on tomorrow with Jason. It's his show. He wants Jason on Thursday. So I'm sure that'll be a topic because I'm curious who would he have as the starting lineup? Would he change at center?
The issue is that I don't know if he feels, I think his point was, and I think this is the coach's point as well, they don't really have a better alternative. They don't like what they've got, but they also don't have anything better. That would be the vibe I got, right?
Right. I mean, maybe I should say who are the five, and maybe there's somebody switch a position, play center, or, what five would he use and at what position for the best offensive line?
Play Zach Tom at center and bring Yash in at right tackle, but I don't think they want to do that either.
Why not?
I think they're pretty down on Yash, too.
Well, we'll have to see what Dr. Bulaga thinks.
Well, I look forward to that. Homer, what else is on your mind these days? Usually you come into this and you have something that you want to make sure you say, and I don't feel like that occurred today. I kind of jumped you right away.
I'm probably like Tausch said, I like this team. I understand the court. I think there's talent here.
Me too.
I feel even more confident they're making the playoffs next year. And that's what this season is all about. And then, you want to see over the course of the year is how much of it really varies, how much of it is some of the defensive players. But they got talent. And the oddest part is he's done for Jordan Love what he didn't do for Aaron Rodgers. And that is give him, I think, a good core of young wide receivers. And don't be none of this blaming Rodgers. He didn't draft anybody, imagine if Reed would have been picked where Amari Rodgers was. What difference might that have made?
Yeah.
And I don't think it had
Homer,
anything to do with Rodgers. I'm just saying, he's finally got a group of receivers, I think, that can help his quarterback, which he didn't do the last few years for Rodgers.
Christian Watson hasn't even played yet. So
yes, that tells you how good the group is and will be. So yeah, I'm really I like the talent on the team, and let's it's all about next year to me anyway. But they got players, and I think I don't think Barry could screw this defense up to prevent them from being better than last year. I don't think it's possible because, Van Ness helps too. He was hurt, but so you just they got a good young group of players. Let's roll the ball out. Let's see what happens. Work it out this year, and then make the playoffs next year. I like the team better now than I did when the season started.
I agree with that. So you don't think that this team can make the playoffs this year?
No. There'll be too many games like this one. But let them try to prove me wrong. There'll be enough mistakes that'll prevent them. But again, Jordan Love can play. Or that's over. He can play.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the decision is, as I did with John Anderson, you judge a player. Can they play? Can they play? Can they clearly play? Can they clearly not play? Can they play a little bit? Or, one of those three categories. He clearly can play a little bit, and it might be that he can really play, like what, 15 quarterbacks in the league?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's number one right now in passer rating, and we will see.
And again, I want to emphasize that's going to drop off because you can't stay that high completing such a low percentage of your passes. But
well, we'll see what happens on Sunday against the Saints. Thanks, Homer. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
The 11 o'clock hour will begin in 2 minutes and somewhat on time for once. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. Right, Sammy? And now is the best time to take advantage of a great offer like this.
For a limited time, get 3.9% special APR rate for up to 60 months on new 2023 Defenders at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab game day eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar. Or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Daniel Holub from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin is joining me. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different from most other surgeons?
At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, we have all fellowship-trained orthopedic specialists. We have all subspecialties of orthopedics covered through our office, so you can see anybody from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes and everywhere in between.
So let's say someone is feeling pain and they finally walk into OAW for that first time. Can you take me through that process of what's going to happen next?
We always start with an office appointment, which will involve me conversing with the patient, trying to figure out what's happening, and then a physical exam. And we have on-site x-ray and on-site MRI if we should need to move into diagnostic tests of that sort.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up.
of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with what I thought, and I'm not going to say this snarkily, was an awesome story about Jordan Love and why he didn't slide at the end of his run against Atlanta. And Matt LaFleur going into great detail with me about the dangers, but also what he found out about Jordan Love when Jordan Love did this against the Falcons on that 12-yard run that he had. Now, in fairness, it is dangerous. He is important to this team, and he was carrying a rehabilitation ice machine with him when he left the locker room on Monday, and a giant bag of ice. And he wasn't just going to put it in a bucket and put a few Tito's and a few Coors Lights in it. He was going to take the ice and put it in the machine. So he clearly did something at the end of that run that caused him to be wearing a sleeve on his right leg and needing some sort of medical contraption to rehabilitate him over the last 2 days. That said, was it a small price to pay? Based on what Matt LaFleur had to say, I think it might have been. Here's our exchange.
Matt, going back to Rob's question about Jordan, is there a spot in like the really good run that he has, the scramble, where you would like him to slide? And, so how do you... Rodgers did the same thing when he was young, right? They're competitive and they want to get after it. So how do you get a guy who is that competitive and whatever to protect himself?
Well, I told him right after the series, I said, hey, that was a hell of a run, but you don't have to be Superman. Just get down. And he fired right back and said, hey, I thought we needed some juice. I said, all right. So, like, it's a fine line of being smart, but also just bringing that energy. And he showed some fire after the run as well, which was pretty impressive in my opinion. So I thought, all in all, I was really pleased with just how he competed, how composed he was, how he led, and that is encouraging.
So is that something that he's developing? Because we talk about how even-keeled he is all the time, right? But when he got that late hit in preseason, he got up and said something, and at the end of that run, he got up and how much do you like seeing that fire out of him?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's inspiring. I think it brings that whole team. It galvanizes that locker room. Not just offense. I'm talking all three phases. So I think you want to see that competitive spirit, that competitive fight from your quarterback.
Tausch, we're giving you back your 65 jersey. You're on this team, and Jordan Love does that. How do you feel?
No, you love it. I think we all understand quarterbacks are incredibly important, and I always tell the story that I think Aaron Rodgers, when it dawned on him that he can't keep doing the scrambling around and taking hits. And, I remember down in New Orleans when he threw that pick and he went down and drilled. I don't remember who was returning it, but he drilled him. And you're thinking, don't do that. But I can picture his face when Mike McCarthy, in front of a team meeting, it was in Detroit, and he had that concussion. He ended up missing the New England game the next week.
Right.
But Mike basically said, you can't do that, blank. You're too dang important for what we're doing. Basically knock that out. You're too vital. And I think Aaron still played with control and was still going to go do his thing. But I think that's the moment it recognized to him that, I can't do that. I need to be smarter. Jordan Love's not there yet. Jordan Love is still in the proving I'm the leader of this team and I'm going to do what I need. And for him to understand where his team was, I don't see him as a guy that's going to do a ton of scrambling, and he's going to, when the pocket breaks down, try to get out, make a throw, keep his eyes down. But in that case, he wasn't going to just go take it and run out of bounds. Now, there's moments that you do that. He decided that was one of those moments. I'm going to pick up a couple extra yards. I might take a hit. Mm-hmm. But you have to kind of understand, what does my team need? sometimes my team needs, when Brett Favre would run down the field and try to cut block a defensive end. I don't know why he did that, but that got everybody, it got everybody jacked up. When the quarterback does that, that's how you establish your leadership, because you still want to be one of the guys, even though you know you have to be smart and you can't do the same things that other guys are doing. So I thought that was some good awareness by Jordan. I think his teammates will receive that very positively. And within all that, you still have to make sure you're not being an idiot. So it's not the easiest equation to kind of come up with what that ratio should be. But there are times John Elway helicoptered.
Right, in the Super Bowl.
You think that their coaches are like, boy, what are you doing? No, they're saying, yeah, it's a Super Bowl. We needed it. You did it. And if you don't think that sparked their team, you weren't out there. You didn't see how that played, because it obviously did. You hear all the players talk about that later. It was one of those big moments. Not that this was the same thing, but obviously Jordan Love felt like that was the case, and Matt LaFleur, I think begrudgingly, is like, I'd much rather have that than a little timid guy where he's constantly ducking out of bounds and doesn't have any chops to go in there and make a play. You can always rein that back. You can't really push to get that competitive juice where you do what Jordan did on Sunday.
So, but where do that story about what Mike McCarthy said to Rodgers is great. That's great insight into that, right? Where do you draw the line? Because if he does get hurt there, you've got Sean Clifford at quarterback, and while some people thought he was going to be terrible, and he obviously had a surprisingly strong training camp for a rookie fifth-round pick, somewhere in the equation, though, I mean, it's a great play. He gets 24 yards on 3rd and 10, and it does get them going, and that is valuable. And I don't want to play the results game, but he was okay. He may have hurt his leg a little bit, but the reward outweighed the risk. How are you going to figure out when the risk-reward flips and you can't be, like, get the 18 yards and don't take the hit to get the other 6 would be my argument to him. Reasonable or not?
No, I think it's a fair argument, but there's just that gut feeling, and you have to understand what your team needs at that moment. Mm-hmm. And if you're a young football team, it's much different than if you're a championship caliber, protect at all costs. Quarterbacks always need to protect themselves. He's going to get hit. He's going to take hits. He's going to probably miss games. I know with Favre, you never did. Rodgers missed games. You don't want any of that, but I've always thought, you throw a pick, and if you, especially as a young quarterback, if you don't go haul tail to make a play, that sets a brutal example for your team. Like if Jordan Love throws a pick to Lattimore on Sunday, and he stands there like, if he ain't chasing and trying to make that same tackle that Rodgers did down in the Superdome, I'd be really disappointed. Now, do you want him throwing his shoulder and then all of a sudden his shoulders?
No, you don't. His shoulder on that play, right?
But he's also a football player, and I want him going. I don't want a young quarterback thinking he's made it and he needs to be in protect mode already. I don't want that. And that's the fine line. I don't know what the right ratio is for that, but I do know your attitude and how you approach things will reverberate throughout your locker room. You have to earn certain things as a player in a locker room. And Jordan Love is in that process of collecting coins and earning it so that maybe – it's a preseason game. You don't need to do that. Right now, I think Jordan Love, with where his mindset is, he would go full tilt trying to do everything because he knows he needs to prove that.
And guys are watching.
And I love that about him. He doesn't. He has not. He knows he hasn't arrived yet, and I think that's a good quality to have.
If we were to do some prize picks for this game, and they put 0.5 as the interception total for him, would you take the more or would you take the less?
Well, I need to see the week of practice. I need to see who else is out there. Is Christian Watson back? A bunch of things go into it, and that's what's beautiful about Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. We're talking entries, and it's not going against other people. It's just going with the player projections that Prize Picks has. You go more or less on those projections, and it's pretty simple. You can pick 2 to 6 players. They go more, you say more, you win. You can win up to 25x on your money, and Prize Picks offers projections on every sport you could think of: LIV golf, cricket, NASCAR, MMA, whatever your entries. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's cricket.
You can get into cricket if you want. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. You have safe and fast withdrawals. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com today. And if you are a first-time user, use the promo code WI. You put 100 in, Prize Picks matches another 100 for you.
I don't remember the last time we played Take It to the Bank, but we're going to play it next. And I like some of the topics Jesse's got listed. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Sharpen your investment and retirement strategy at the Annex Wealth Management Navigating the Markets presentation. What are the headwinds for portfolios in excess of $1 million? Will the long-awaited recession actually happen? And what can you do to calibrate your portfolio? Navigating the Markets takes place in Mequon September 26th and Brookfield October 5th. These premier events are open to everyone. Complete details and sign up at annexwealth.com/events. The American economy is at a critical juncture. What's next? Join us for Navigating the Markets from Annex Wealth Management.
Hey, folks, if you're like me, this is your favorite time of the year. Not only is it football season, it's Chevy truck season, too. You can go from watching great tackles on the gridiron to tackling any challenge that comes your way with the strength, trailering, and off-road capability of the powerful Chevy Silverado. So don't miss Chevy truck season and take advantage of exciting offers available right now. See your local Chevy dealer and visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Now, we all experience daily struggles, and with so many concerns to be conscious of, breathing should not be one of them. Mark Tauscher here for Advent, and if you're like me and have had snoring issues, sinus problems, or difficulty breathing, then you'll want to meet the team at Advent. The team of Advent specialists have a few simple steps to help evaluate your individual limitations and get you back to breathing well. Since Advent addressed my snoring and nasal breathing issues, I feel great. I've never slept better, and my wife Sarah is incredibly appreciative. The team of Advent specialists listened to my struggles, found the best solution for me, and customized it to my needs. Take my word for it and go to adventknows.com to learn more about simple solutions to snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems. And schedule your appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
The Waukesha Gun Club offers the perfect outdoor activity this weekend. Stop out and learn to shoot at one of Wisconsin's largest shotgun-only clubs. The Waukesha Gun Club features sporting clay courses, trap, and skeet ranges. Safety personnel will be on site to help answer your questions. Make plans now to enjoy the beautiful fall weather at the Waukesha Gun Club, just 1 mile north of I-94 at exit 295. Get more info at waukeshagunclub.org. Learn to shoot this weekend at the Waukesha Gun Club. Stop out and try something new.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Brian, why are you stacking books on the floor?
I want to stand while I work. Standing desks are all the rage these days.
Well, it's a good thing that these desks move up and down. You did know that, right?
What? They do?
Yeah. We're not messing around here.
This is great. Now, only if I had a chair to swivel around in.
Do you just not pay attention to everybody else's desks?
Well, no wonder I'm not getting much done these days.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Time to play a little Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank. This has more of a national angle to Jesse's topics, but closer to home, Associated Bank is the official bank of the Packers, of course. They've been there since the Packers began in 1919, and they continue to be there today. And if you're a Packers fan, no better place to be. Packers checking, you get your Packers debit MasterCard, you get a discount at the Packers Pro Shop in-store and online. So be sure to go to associatedbank.com/Packers to find out more. Time now to take it to the bank.
Love Take It to the Bank, and it has been a while since we've played a national perspective on some of the topics here coming up for Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank. It's kind of inspired.
When is Spooky and Fluky coming?
Very soon.
October?
That's an October special. That'll be an October special.
I love Spooky or Fluky.
Yeah, I do love it. That one will be here too. Don't worry. And there's plenty to talk about on the Packers front with Spooky or Fluky this year. But first, let's take it to the bank looking at the NFC. The San Francisco 49ers, number one in this week's ESPN NFL Power Rankings. Take it to the bank. The 49ers are the most complete team in the NFC. Tausch, you going to take that to the bank?
No, I'm not. I still Philadelphia is going to find it. I think their quarterback's better, and I look at quarterbacks as being the ultimate decider, and I believe he's the best quarterback in this conference. He's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start. I think they're still trying to figure things out. I think they have a new coordinator. They got some new, new tailback. They got some new stuff that they're dealing with. San Francisco is right there, but Brock Purdy to me still, he's been good. He's held up. He's got his elbows good. I'm surprised he's playing already. San Fran is right there. I think there are three teams in the NFC that have kind of put themselves up here. Green Bay to me is in that next tier below with a bunch of other teams that are scraping to figure out where they fit. But this is a three-horse field as we're sitting here right now.
I am going to take that to the bank. I do think they are the most complete. I know Brock Purdy is still a largely unproven commodity, but they have surrounded him with fantastic weapons. Their defense is terrific. Deebo Samuel just keeps getting better. Brandon Ayuk, who they selected one pick before the Packers took Jordan Love. Reports at the time were that the 49ers went up there specifically to get Ayuk so the Packers wouldn't. What an interesting what if for Packers futures had that not played out the way it did. Would Brandon Ayuk have been the pick if both he and Love had been on the board at the same time? We'll never know. But they are playing really well. I am going to take it to the bank. They're the best team in the NFC.
And what if TJ Watt instead of Kevin King? And what if Drew Brees had never gone to the Saints and went to the Dolphins instead? I love those. Take it to the bank. The Chicago Bears will be in better shape as an organization in 2 years than the Minnesota Vikings. Both are 0-2 entering Week 3 this season.
In 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
What is one of the staples of this show?
The league comes at you fast, Eddie Lacy.
What are we doing here?
You're rushing for 1,100 yards, and then you're having a rummage sale.
I think you could make the claim Minnesota's roster is much better than the Chicago Bears. They don't have, I know old DJ up there, they think he's not Justin Jefferson. They got Hawkinson. They're going to be in a position when they get Kirk Cousins' number off their books that if they can strike gold with a good young quarterback, they're going to be they'll be in a good position. They have Kirk Cousins, who's a good quarterback already, and maybe they'll keep him along to kind of guide that bridge to their next quarterback. No. Absolutely no. Do I think that?
I find myself wondering if the Bears will ever be in good position.
They need a new owner. They need new ownership, period. It's a mess.
I mean, they can't. It does not appear they've gotten the coach and GM right.
They don't know where they're going to build their new stadium yet. They are a hot mess, and it ain't getting any better. And organizationally, they need a reset.
Yeah, and then some. No, I would not take that. Wait a minute. Who was supposed to be in better shape? The Bears were supposed to be.
The Bears will
be
in better shape than the Vikings.
2 years.
No, sorry.
What are we doing here?
There'll be no
2 years
bank taking that one.
Double dog years in the NFL. What are you doing?
So,
I double dog dare you to do another 2-year question right here.
Try to figure out how.
In 6 years, Matt LaFleur will be coaching who? That would be interesting.
Oh, let's do that one. In 6 years, Matt LaFleur will be coaching the Packers. Take it to the bank.
Oh.
Since you want it, you got it.
I wouldn't take that to the bank.
It's a long
6
time.
years would give him 11 seasons as the coach.
Life comes at you fast.
Not as many as Mike McCarthy, but more than Mike Sherman.
Next up, Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank.
Well, is Jason going to answer? I said no. Is Jason going to let Jason answer?
Sure,
yeah,
Jason.
I guess I thought you might say more on why you said no. If Jordan Love is as very good as we think he could be, based on his first 2 games, I think Matt LaFleur is still coaching the Packers in 6 years. Yes.
Okay.
You may recall there was a day, I believe it was last year, that Hunter Vaughn stepped in to produce the show. It happens a lot.
It's been a while. We haven't had Hunter in a while. You're on quite a streak. How many days in a row have you worked?
I'm due for a day off coming up here pretty soon. More on that in Whoa Nelly. Hunter Vaughn asserted, because he's a Cowboys fan, that Micah Parsons was the next Lawrence Taylor, and you guys gave him some grief for that.
I remember that.
Well, guess what I heard as I was listening to Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman on the way in this morning.
I heard it on the telecast of the game with Tony Romo and I don't know, Jim Nance.
That as well. Take it to the bank. Micah Parsons actually has proven to be the next Lawrence Taylor, and we owe Hunter Vaughn an apology for suggesting that could be the case.
No, I ain't putting. I need to see a lot more. Lawrence Taylor was a bad dude. Micah Parsons is good. He is. I think his track. He's on a very, very good track to being that guy. I think one of the was his MVP opportunity was at 100-1. Micah Parsons. This is one of those years you got the Mahomes fatigue. Josh Allen's been throwing a bunch of picks. I don't know if this might be a year a quarterback doesn't win it.
What was
if
Jordan
that's
Love?
the case, and the Cowboys,
Love's on track.
If the Cowboys are 15-2, 14-3, and Micah Parsons is at 20 some odd sacks and picks and turnovers, I've seen crazier ideas. And Greeny and his crew put a little scratch down on that at 100-1. I'm guessing it ain't 100-1 anymore. Micah Parsons, keep an eye out for him. He's a Cowboy.
Really good.
He's a Cowboy. MVP. If he stays healthy, keep an eye out. It's a pretty solid play by Greeny and his crew.
I watched most of that game while I was writing. He is really good, and I knew he was good. I knew he was good when Hunter said that, but Lawrence Taylor is a very large name to throw out there. So I will split the difference as I often do and hedge. I will apologize to Hunter Vaughn for poo-pooing him, but I will not take it to the bank that he is the next Lawrence Taylor, because it takes longevity, and he doesn't have that yet. But I can see why the comps are being made, because there ain't nothing the kid can't do. He is impressive. There is no two ways about it. McCarthy loves him. He is an outstanding young player who, given his track, there's a chance that Hunter Vaughn will, in fact, be right in the long run.
The best argument that I heard on Unsportsmanlike, as they talked about it this morning, it was almost the Shohei Ohtani impact, where he is so good and so versatile on defense, where you can have him just be an edge rusher and just get after the quarterback, and you can scheme your defense that way if that's what you need to do. Or he can drop back if you're playing against somebody who can do everything. And like the fact that he can do both at such a high level makes him more valuable than almost any other defensive player, and that's why he should be in the MVP candidacy.
Here's the deal. If he's not with the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not even thinking about putting that up there, because T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, you can look at Aaron Donald, all these guys had monster years, and they were never – I mean, I know J.J. took second one year, but the fact that he's a Cowboy is what puts him in this mix. Otherwise, it's not happening. That's just the reality of the NFL.
Maybe. You might be right. All right, that's it for Take It to the Bank.
Myles Garrett's doing crossovers. He's lining up everywhere. He's doing the same things that Micah Parsons is doing, guys. Myles Garrett's done it for a while.
Does he have as many turnover plays as Parsons does? I'll look that up.
Go do the research. Yeah. I'm telling you, Myles Garrett has
didn't
been
have that memorized.
Really good, and I think if he's playing in Dallas, he's getting some love too in this regard. So don't ever dismiss the Dallas effect.
Yeah, the effect for me is I didn't watch the Browns games, and I watched the Cowboys late game after the Packers played.
Because TV people put that in your face. That's the reality.
I guess. I mean, the Monday night game was in my face if I wanted it to be in my face, and I didn't want it in my face, so I didn't watch it. But that's fair. So yesterday the girls had a volleyball match, and Maddie got done with hers, and she changed into her Gruber Law Offices T-shirt, and one of her teammates said, "Hey, one call, that's all." That's how well known that phrase is, but you can get to know more about Gruber Law Offices and what they can do for their injured clients, but also what they do in the community. If you go to gruber-law.com, there you'll find out everything you know about their firm that will allow you to be prepared for your case if you need them. But you can also find out about all the different things they do in the community, all their connections to all their favorite sports teams, and everything else. But that phrase, everyone knows it, even Maddie's volleyball teammates. One call, that's all. And if you need their legal representation, then make that one call. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Show your Brewers pride everywhere you go with Brewers Checking, only from Associated Bank. Score exclusive perks like a one-of-a-kind Brewers Debit MasterCard, 10% off at the team store, even express check-in at the Associated Bank gate. And if you want a VIP game day, the Associated Bank Power Alley is for everyone. Contact the Brewers ticket office to learn how you could treat your crew to a full buffet and private bar overlooking left center field. Brewers Checking. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Brewers today. Member FDIC.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Announcing the former All-Star Buick GMC is now the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Oak Creek. And the former John Paul's Buick GMC is now the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Greenfield, Milwaukee's Buick GMC headquarters. Greg Cunis was recently named Time Magazine's Wisconsin Automotive Dealer of the Year. Plus, Cunis dealerships have been awarded Top 100 Best in the U.S. by the Automotive News the past 9 years. Our mission is to bring the Cunis Auto Group's unequaled customer satisfaction and service to our friends in the greater Milwaukee area. Cunis Milwaukee Buick GMC stores have the area's largest pre-owned car, truck, and SUV inventory with over 3,000 vehicles available on lot or online and always at a price and payment you can afford. And all new and pre-owned Cunis vehicles come with our exclusive no-fear lifetime warranty coverage at no extra charge. So buy like a champion at the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Oak Creek, 7020 South 27th Street, or Cunis Buick GMC of Greenfield, 3615 South 108th Street. Milwaukee's Buick GMC headquarters.
It's a city from a fairy tale on the Mediterranean Sea.
Netanya, the city of diamonds. And in this city of diamonds lived a crazy genius named Moses Hadara.
Moses was a mathematician,
a diamond cutter, and a bit of a theoretical physicist.
Albert Einstein devised a formula, E equals mc squared.
Albert's formula unleashed the power locked inside an atom. Moses' formula unleashed the power locked inside a diamond.
Moses began with star facets,
kite facets, upper girdle facets,
lower girdle facets,
and pavilion facets. But then a voice told him to add 24 new facets, the Moses facets.
When he cut the final one,
Shazam! Moses unleashed an explosion of light.
That dazzling diamond is known today as the Kessler 81.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
See it for yourself at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jesse teased a day off leading into this. So now I'm curious, when will the streak end? We'll find out when he reveals when his next day off is in Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocco's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
So, in a text chain with Becca and a couple of her friends yesterday, we got an opportunity to attend next Thursday night's Packers game basically for free. And my first instinct was, it's a Thursday night game. Like, then if I'm gonna come back and do the show the next day, it'll be a super quick turnaround. Like, when are we gonna be able to get there, getting out of work? Like, and then I kind of stepped back and I felt to myself, this feels like a low where, as a Wisconsin sports fan, getting an opportunity to attend a Packers game for free is gifted to you, and I'm first thinking that my gut instinct is to decline it. Is that like a sad... It feels wrong for me to think that way. Is that wrong of me, or do you think that that's realistic and that other people feel the same way if they're presented a Thursday night football game different than a Sunday noon, Sunday 3:25. Like that's the whole point. Is it's a weeknight and the work things going on and the dog. Like it feels like a sad adult moment for me. Is it?
It's not. Now, the fact that they're free tickets, and I know how much you like good free stuff.
I love a good free
But you
sample.
take naps at these games. You're not worried about missing work. We're well aware of that. So I don't necessarily know. I think the dog is what's kind of leading you down this road because you never missed an opportunity, whether it was Stacy Bruner giving you his tickets or whatever. You always just take them. So I find it a little bit interesting that you're now thinking about it, and I think this is all about your dog. You brought up your dog. What do I have to do with my dog? It's going to cost me money to put the dog away. Can somebody watch the dog? With the dog.
If we're talking Thursday,
it's all about the dog.
Leave by 3. Dog's going to be home for, 10 hours by himself by the time you get home? Maybe longer? Can't do that. This feels like it's, again, I don't know, is there ever a time where you would pause and contemplate, did this happen to you guys? Where you were gifted Brewers tickets, Bucks tickets, Badgers tickets, any type of event, a concert, and then it became that moment where you finally first looked at it for the first time, you're like, no, I'm good. This feels bad for me to do this.
Yeah, free is good. Homer taught us that a long time ago. And how, Tausch brings up the very good point of the work schedule for you. But also, this kind of feels like an old man thing to do. It's going to be pretty late. It's a long drive. And I know we tease you for being the oldest 30-something we know, but I can see why you're feeling this way. If it's because of Mo, though, then all bets are off. If you have somebody that can watch Mo and take him out and be a good pet sitter for you, then I don't think you have much of an argument not to take him up on the tickets.
Whoa, Nelly! I'll circle back, but I might need next Friday off. Just to want to get out in front of that.
Don't you schedule along with Evan Cohen, who's the greatest scheduler of all time?
Ring of Honor scheduler, yeah.
I'm reading an article over at ESPNWisconsin.com. The best early surprises of the 2023 NFL season, and then determining whether the surprises are real or not real. You can bet that Jordan Love has appeared on the list. Do you believe that Rob Demovsky of ESPN's NFL Nation has claimed the verdict on Jordan Love's effectiveness and surprising start to 2023 is real or not real? Tausch?
I think he thinks it's real. I think he's seen what most of us have seen, and that's he's been, again, I can't even say it. He's been really good. And I think Rob sees that, and I think that's probably the assessment that he gave ESPN.com.
So, I'm sorry, what is the question exactly?
Do you believe that Rob Demovsky has ruled that the early success for Jordan Love is real or not real in the list of surprises to start the 2023 NFL season?
I think Rob was shook. And he'll join us on Friday. We could ask him. But when he made, what I thought was a largely offhanded, not harsh critique about midway through camp, that Jordan had one good day and one pretty good day and the rest have been kind of meh. And the villagers were at the gates with pitchforks and torches on him. I think he realizes now that the path of least resistance in the public sphere is to say that it's real. And if you say that it's fake, you're going to deal with a lot of crap when we all know that it's premature to be saying after 2 games whether it's real or fake. That's what I think.
The verdict is real.
He's a smart guy. He ain't no dummy.
Now, he does go on to
That's
say...
shame on you. Honest to God, though, shame on you guys if that's how you think.
That's why I'm arguing. But here's the thing. That's why I'm arguing with you, because I've just stopped using Twitter, and now that your guy's going to charge for it, I know that I'll really be stopping using it.
You should maybe recheck your facts on your guy charging. He's not charging for it. That's fake news. But continue.
Okay, I will. I'll recheck that.
It's fake news. Okay.
No, I'm done.
Whoa, Nelly!
Garrett Wilson is talking again this week as the Jets get ready to play the New England Patriots, who they've lost to 14 consecutive times. Says that streak is unacceptable for the New York Jets to have lost that many straight times to the Patriots, more than 7 seasons since their last victory against New England. Why stir the beast on this? If you're Garrett Wilson going to war with Zach Wilson here in Week 3, and the Patriots are hungry after 2 competitive losses and Belichick's their coach, why would you do this if you're Garrett Wilson?
Because at some point, you can't just sit there and keep taking it. You're 7 years. 7 years in and you haven't beaten them? Now is the time. The Patriots are 0-2 too. The Jets have one more win than they do. So I don't blame him. I think now that Aaron is injured, he's one of the guys. He's one of the leaders of this group. He has to set the tone. What do you want him to say? Yeah, they just keep beating us. And I want my guys coming out and saying, yeah, I'm sick of this. Donezo with this.
I really like him as a player. I would have loved to have seen what his season Sauce Wilson would have looked like had he not lost his quarterback.
Saucy.
I would have really liked to have seen that, because he had a catch in that Dallas game that was ridiculous. He is impressive. Again, I don't know. There's part of me that would be fascinated to be covering this Jets season, and there's part of me that thinks, God, this is just gonna suck for the Rich Saminis of the world to go through.
Whoa, Nelly!
For what the expectations were. Yeah, that's a tough break. Last one, today is National Pepperoni Pizza Day. Is pepperoni the GOAT of pizza toppings, Tausch?
No, I think a good fennelled Italian sausage. It got to have a little fennel in it, and I'm not going to throw out who's where and what, but which pizza. I like a bigger piece of sausage with some fennel. Got to have a little fennel to get that little extra kick. That's what's critical. I don't like the little baby sausages. It's got to be the big sausage that you get on your pizza.
Fennel? Like Ben Fennel? So is fennel meat? It's a sausage? I always thought that was something else. Now I've learned something new about fennel. Not to be confused with Ben Fennel, who breaks down film and Twitter.
So fennel is a plant, and it's like it serves as like a seasoning, essentially, for sausage, primarily.
Oh, so it's not a type of sausage.
Yeah, fennel is a flowering plant species in the carrot family. It's a hardy perennial herb with yellow flowers and feathery leaves. And yeah, it goes on to talk about the spice that it does for sausage and other meats. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have a lot of fennel expertise, so I'm just going to say, if you want to wash down your fennel, the best way to do it is with Coors Light.
Grab yourself a Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged because it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp, and it's only 102 calories. So you want to reset, just reach for the beer that is made to chill. That is Coors Light. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Untethered, unfiltered, and unbothered.
I took a Civil War class. I took a Civil War class in high school.
So what does Civil War have to do with Rosa Parks?
Kyle Bruston Northman, KBN, weekdays from 2 to 5.
I nailed it, though. I said, he didn't go to the back of the bus.
Yeah.
I ain't moving.
Yeah, you right.
I'm not leaving.
Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Right here on 94.5 ESPN. And subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Buckle up. It's all systems go at Potawatomi. Plug in to High Wattage Play and you could win an all-electric BMW i7. Play now through September with your club card. Prize drawings on Thursdays. There's a shocking $800,000 in total prizes on the line, including the luxury BMW i7. It's time to electrify your drive. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. More info at paysbig.com/BMW. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
Hi, I'm John McGivern. If you're looking for a Medicare plan with freedom and flexibility, choose a Network Health Medicare Advantage plan. Plans start as low as $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs, plus vision, hearing, and dental benefits. For 40 years, Network Health has been a trusted expert in making health insurance affordable and understandable. Don't wait. Call 833-7-NETWORK today.
Heading up north for some golf? Be sure to book a tee time at the Ball Golf Course, an Arnold Palmer masterpiece just north of Milwaukee on the way to Kohler. It's the best destination for your next Wisconsin round of golf. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the bog.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Plus, right now, buy a DeWalt Power Stack battery kit and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free, up to a $249 value. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29. Subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people with different political views and life experiences are coming together through the power of conversation, and it feels good. Hear more at lovehasnolabels.com/one-small-step. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Dan Wiederer of the Chicago Tribune tweets this. Justin Fields acknowledged he has been playing too robotic. Then he bit the pin off the grenade, which I'm not sure I would use that angle, and rolled it into the building with his explanation for why he believes he's been playing that way.
This isn't
coaching.
Oh, no.
I would like to go back to Jesse's question in Wonelli about whether the Bears will be in better position in 2 years than the Vikings and say, while the league comes at you fast, this would further indicate to me that they are going to continue to have their issues.
So he said coaching
is the reason he's playing robotically.
You know what I really hope happens? It would be just awesome for everybody involved if the Bears hired Urban Meyer. That would be just – didn't he play with Urban? Was Urban still there, or was he done already by the time Justin Fields was there?
I think he was done already, but I will have to look.
You talked about what Jordan Love said after the fawn sneak, the drunken fawn sneak, and all the accountability. You want to see the opposite of that and how that is played. And this is where being able to sit and understand that your words have the magnitude in an organization that they do. Jordan's handling things beautifully. Justin Fields is not. Your teammates see that. What do you think coaches are going to say now?
So
they're going to say, hey, Justin, I saw this one film. He had 7 seconds in the pocket. Everybody blames his O-line for everything. 7 seconds, and old boy is wide open on a seam route. Couldn't have been more wide open. He doesn't see him. So if I'm Luke Getsy now, I'm saying, coaching, we can only get guys open by 6 yards. That's what you want to start doing as a quarterback? What are you doing, man?
Urban Meyer's last year at Ohio State was 2018. That was the year that Justin Fields spent at Georgia as he played in 12 games as a true freshman. Then he came to Ohio State in 19 and 20.
Just to have more just complete and utter chaos, because if that is what really just happened, and again, I want to hear it myself too, not just go off of Dan, Wiederer? He's been getting quoted a lot on this show. Can you imagine?
He's the new Dove.
If I'm Luke Getsy and I'm saying I can't call a bunch of drop back passes because you read one read and then you pull the ball and you're going to get killed. That's what he should say, because that's what happens. And then I want you to be more of a pocket passer, but we all know designed runs and everything else is what Justin Fields needs. But they ain't doing it. And now he's throwing his coaches under the bus. Good luck, Chicago. You're going to need it.
All right.
They might not win a game.
So when it comes to grenades, again, I don't really like the imagery there, but the David Bakhtiari situation is kind of the Packers' drama, right? I mean, this is going to create drama at Hallis Hall, obviously, for the Bears today, but what happens and how do you picture my day going at Lambeau Field with the David Bakhtiari saga? Does he speak? Does Matt LaFleur discuss it at all? He said, just to clarify, I'm done talking about it.
Well, are you guys going to ask him? Is anybody going to ask him? Because if David Bakhtiari's knee is bad, he's going to be rehabbing. He's not going to be available. He won't practice, so he won't be available. You could go and talk to Rashid, Yash, everybody else, but Matt LaFleur, Goody, and David Bakhtiari are the characters that we care about what they're saying. I don't know. Are you going to have the stones to say something, Matt? We still haven't had any clarification. I talked to Rashid Walker. He told me David Bakhtiari told him Saturday night that this is the deal. What's going on? Can somebody give us answers? And if he's like, I'm done with this, he's going to be irritated with you, so you're going to take the path of least resistance and not do it, and people are going to continue to speculate about what the hell's actually going on.
I have not taken the path of least resistance. Sometimes I wish I had, but I actually believe in ethics, and so I'm not. So I will ask. Okay. Matt, since you didn't really want to just to clarify things on Monday, I think it's important. Rashid Walker told us that David told him on Saturday night that he wasn't playing against the Falcons. I would just like to know when you knew David wasn't playing against the Falcons.
Be a great question.
And if he gets pissed, he gets pissed. But it needs to be asked. It needs to be asked. I mean, now.
So if he just says, I'm not answering, what do you do?
I don't know. I'm also considering texting him and asking him so I don't have to do it in the press conference because I still want the answer. So maybe I'll go about it that way. We'll have to wait and see, but he'll talk after practice, and we'll be there for it. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Well, test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as simple as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. And right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/WI and use code WI. That's code WI at prizepicks.com/WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
2 games into the season, and the Packers' run offense remains a work in progress. The ground game averages 2.9 yards per carry against the Bears and manages 3.1 yards per rush against the Falcons. While success in the run game begins with the offensive line and running backs, head coach Matt LaFleur believes all 11 players need to be better in that phase of the game.
Whether you're an offensive lineman, tight end, running back, we got to be more physical at the point of attack. It's never just on one person.
The 1-1 Packers welcoming the 2-0 Saints to Lambeau Field Sunday for the home opener. Kickoff is set for noon.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Sirius XM Channel 80. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Browns working on adding another player to their running back room in the wake of the season-ending knee injury to Nick Chubb. Free agent running back Kareem Hunt, who played for Cleveland the last 4 seasons, visited with the team yesterday. Jerome Ford is the Browns' featured back. Marlins second baseman Luis Arraez, the major league leader with a .354 batting average, hopes to be back in the lineup tonight against the Mets. He was scratched from the lineup last night after spraining his ankle during fielding practice. The Marlins are a half game out of the final NL wildcard spot. 3 U.S. senators will introduce a bill today that would award the Congressional Gold Medal to Tennis Hall of Famer and activist Billie Jean King. She'll be the first female individual to be awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. King was a driving force behind the creation of the Women's Pro Tour and equal prize money for men and women.
From the ESPN studios at Pier 17 in the Seaport District of New York City, this is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch the show on the ESPN app.
Back and better than ever, Greeny presented by Progressive Insurance, rolling along on a very busy Wednesday with ton of NFL news to get into. But speaking of news, the biggest of all time may have just broken, and that's the only place to start.
Here we go! Only one place to start.
Jeff Saturday and Kimberly Martin, good enough to hang out after we wrap up Get Up with this news hot off the presses. Jason Kelce, center, Philadelphia Eagles, brother Travis Kelce, has confirmed, Jason has, that Travis and Taylor Swift are dating. Kimberly Martin, your reaction?
did you see when Joe Burrow announced that he was engaged, or people knew that he was engaged, and then like a store was offering like different kind of shots for women that were depressed? I think that's going to happen in KC. I think a lot of women are going to be really disappointed. Travis Kelce. I mean, it makes sense. But Taylor Swift.
I was going to say, I think Taylor Swift's
kind of a bigger deal.
Yeah, I think on the world scope, I would say that Taylor Swift far outshines any NFL player. In all honesty, so I don't know what her concert tickets went for, but I remember this summer they're talking about just some insane amount of money.
Trust me, I know. My daughter went 3 times.
Okay, yeah. So you know,
we are a Swiftie household.
Okay,
and I will say this: that the women in Kansas City need not worry, because if history is our guide, this will last some period of time. It'll end, and then she will write an unbelievably good song.
Great song, great album is coming.
There will be a football-related song coming up on an album at some point soon. Taylor's version is going to be outstanding. Anyway, let's get down to the actual business of football here. We had a lot of really good stuff on television this morning, and I want to dive back into some of it. Kmart, let's start with this. I feel bad because you have rapidly become one of my favorite people.
I appreciate that.
And yet
you treat me so horribly.
Well, no, that's not true. I have taken to yelling at you lately
for your frustrations.
You cover the Jets, and you keep telling me what they tell you, and I keep yelling at you because it's not what I want to hear.
I got to just give you Joe Douglas's number. Like, take it, run at the flagpole.
I will talk to Joe Douglas.
let Greeny be like the big booster. You know how college boosters got the coaches, the head coach's number? Let that happen.
Yes.
Give me a number. People have this complete misconception that I have these relationships. These are not people I know. I've never met Robert Saleh in my life. I've never met Joe Douglas in my life, and I don't care to. I'm not looking for any more friends. I got plenty of friends. I want my team to win
a Super Bowl, baby.
At some point. And for this year, that horse is out of the barn. Like, I don't think there's almost any circumstance in which that happens. But here's what I'm really worried about. And if I'm them, it's what they should be really worried about. Yeah. I could see that team splintering, and I really hope I'm wrong. But they have a bunch of young, dynamic, talented guys who want to be a part of something special. And they brought in Aaron Rodgers to be that.
Right.
And if they now turn this thing back over to this kid that they had a mutiny last year. There was a mutiny on that team last year. If this thing goes anything like that Sunday against Bill freaking Belichick, I think they're going to have a major problem on their hands.
Didn't they wear the T-shirts?
Mike White, effing White,
yeah.
So here's what I go back to. We've had conversations in the offseason, preseason about this team, and I always brought up the leadership. Who's in charge with Aaron Rodgers? Is it Robert Saleh or is it Aaron Rodgers? And I think what we saw is this was Aaron's team. This was Aaron's organization.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff was happy to sort of give him that authority and power within the locker room and on the field. And now that it's not there, like I think back to Hard Knocks, that first episode, you literally have the defensive coordinator saying, we got him. We got him. Like now when we step in the stadiums, we're straight. We know we can win any game because of him.
Right.
So much was put on him. And it was the Jets will go as Aaron goes. And I wondered about Robert Saleh and how much power he had within it, right? And now that Aaron's not there, it's on Robert Saleh to rein it in, to make sure that Breece Hall talking about, like, I need more touches. Like, this is how we win games. And Sauce wanted, like, I should be shadowing guys. Like, we should,
and deleted his accounts or stuff, right? Yeah.
You know, and that's the part where when frustration mounts.
Yeah.
How do you temper that, the anxiety and the frustration? You got Sauce deleting Twitter. Like, it's weak. Yeah. We haven't even gotten to week 3, like 3 Sunday yet.
That's the fear.
That's
and let me say this from the coaching side of why coaches, like, why would Saleh allow that? People were like, because player-led teams are the most successful teams in the NFL. When you saw Tom Brady go to Tampa Bay, Bruce Arians is a big personality, and he is a great dude, and he is a ton of fun. But he and Tom Brady, like, they wouldn't be, and obviously they have a relationship now, but they wouldn't be like hangout boys, right? Like Bruce, the way he lived, BA, the way he lives his life, and Tom Brady, you know, and the avocado ice cream. Those are two different cats, right? But Bruce deferred to Tom. Now, when they were on the field, BA would chastise him and criticize him and get him right, like any other coach should. But when you let them leave and go to the locker room, that's when it becomes Brady's kingdom, right? No different than when Peyton Manning went to Denver. They changed culture. That was what Saleh was hoping from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That when he got to the Jets, this is how it changes. And so what happens is when that void now is created because of injury, the injury's not just my play. It's such a bad injury. It's not that my player is no longer going to play. He's not even in the building, right? Because you have surgeries.
Right.
All you do is go to the training room and out because you can't be on the sideline because if somebody runs up on you, the risk of re-injury. There's all these things that get put in place. That void of leadership on the field, offensively especially, is the danger because where you have the majority of playmakers is on that defensive side. And so, I mean, you think about maybe Garrett Wilson now, but where is the leadership really coming from? And from a backup quarterback, it's not coming from there. So it is now Saleh has to step in and be that kind of guiding voice offensively. That's the real risk. And by replacing that or bringing somebody in that is more mature, could you fix it for a brief time? But you just don't. There's too many unknowns and too many variables.
Think about all the guys that came for Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
Dalvin Cook literally just signed last month to win it all with Aaron Rodgers. You got Allen Lazard here. You got Randall Cobb here.
His guys.
All his guys. And Aaron Rodgers, the best part about it was the worst thing, which is Aaron Rodgers was better than they ever could have hoped. The feeling in that building.
Yeah.
What standing on the sidelines for Monday Night Football as like the fireworks are like exploding in the air and you got the flag waving. I looked and I said, this place has never, ever felt like this. It was so magical and so great. And to strip
it was
that
all theoretical as well, by the way.
Right? No,
we
for
didn't
sure.
know, right?
No, listen, you like standing there was like, there's no way the Jets are losing this game.
Right.
Like Aaron running out with the flag, like. And on paper, this roster had the potential to do special things. You strip all of that away, and Aaron not being in the building now, it's not chaos in there.
No.
But it's when things start to unravel in games. Who is that calming voice? And so far, it's been Garrett Wilson going over to Zach Wilson and saying like, okay, this is what I saw. Okay, like you got this. But that is the complete opposite.
You need a guy that transcends all three phases. That's the problem with Garrett Wilson or Zach Wilson, right? They're single phase guys.
Right.
Tom Brady talks to defensive guys, special teams, like everybody looks to them. That's the difference, right? The Peyton Manning's they elevate all 53. It's not just 11 or the way. That's the difference. The difference is you transcend all three phases.
It's not
of the
going
game.
to the defense.
Correct.
And, come on, guys, you can do this. It's like, how about you actually not make a mistake?
Exactly.
You focus on that.
That's right.
That's my concern. Greenie presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance by visiting Progressive.com. And let's make it clear. Let's expand this league-wide because I'm not blaming anyone. This is terrible luck that befell an organization that did everything right. Every move they made was the right move.
Absolutely.
And if you lose your starting quarterback, if you are a championship contending team in the National Football League, and I'm going to prove it to you right now, and you lose your starting quarterback on the fourth offensive play of the season, you're done. It doesn't make any difference how good the rest of you are. I'm just going to name teams that feel like they are contenders this season.
Right.
And you tell me if they lose their, I hate to even speak this into existence, but if they lose their starting quarterback for the season this week, are they still contenders? Miami.
No.
Buffalo.
No.
No, gosh,
Baltimore.
No.
No.
Jacksonville.
Nope.
No.
Cincinnati.
No, definitely not. No.
Kansas City.
Let me just stop you.
Nobody.
The only team that would is San Francisco.
Ooh, because we've seen it.
That's it.
You've seen it.
You name every list.
Yeah.
But,
That's my point.
You name every list. But the only one that I would say that would still, their numbers may dip a little or change a little, but overall you would say San Fran might be able to give you a run for your money. But other than that, all the names you're naming, the
so that's the point.
Yeah.
So now it really becomes about holding everything together. Like the expectation of winning a championship this year, which everybody had, that's gone. It's over.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's over. That's the part of it. They can't accept that. I'm not suggesting they should walk in there every day saying, well, we can't do it anymore. But at some point, the realization is going to strike everyone if it hasn't already. And now they need to hold it together. And that is my biggest concern. Greeny, Jeff Saturday, and Kmart, good enough to hang out for a few minutes after we wrap up the TV show. I want to very quickly bring up something that we did on TV today as well, because Kmart, this debate, the debate about Justin Fields in Chicago is becoming, in my view, one of the most interesting stories in the NFL. And maybe because I'm very close to it because of my ties to Chicago. But you're a person who is taking one tack of this discussion that I feel is becoming a decreasingly popular one. So when people look at Justin Fields and the obvious struggles that we have seen from him, what is your diagnosis?
Well, I just look at the entire, my job is about context, providing context. And you have a kid who came into an organization, the people that drafted him no longer here. This is the first time since college that he's been in the same offensive system. There were going to be growing pains. Adding DJ Moore was a huge first step, but it was not the only step. This cupboard was bare when I talk about the roster last year. They have done a good job making the roster better, but it's still not enough. Like, people expecting this year would be, oh, well, the Bears are winning the division. That, to me, that was far too premature. I felt like next year would be a year where we look at the Bears and say, they're a legit contender in this division. Now, that said, Justin Fields cannot hold on to the football that long. Like, you literally are watching, like, you're watching him with the football and you're just like, throw it, dude. You got to throw guys open. You got to trust that you are leading guys where they need to be, that they will be in the right spot.
Right.
The decision making, and Jeff said this on TV, the paralysis by analysis, it just looks like too many things are happening in his head. That is on him. However, we also see other quarterbacks in the NFL where the coaching staff says, we don't want you to fit into what we want to do. We want to look at you as a total package and figure out what works for you. How can we make you comfortable, especially a young guy who you understood coming out of the draft was going to need some time, was going to need some seasoning. It wasn't going to be like we're going to hit the ground running and all of a sudden Justin Fields is a finished product. He needed development. And unfortunately, I worried about him going to Chicago in the first place because that organization was not stable. You could see that Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace were not going to be there for the long haul. And when you have the front office fluctuation, that messes up a quarterback's development, especially in the early years. So I think there's bigger issues beyond Justin Fields, but Justin Fields has to also trust Justin Fields. Yeah.
Let me just tell you the difficulty, and I just thought about this as we were talking, because we talked about it on TV, and I didn't have a chance to say this, but this is another thing. It is paralysis by analysis by Justin Fields, right? Is that there's a lot going on in your head, and and so you're and it accumulates. It's not one play. Like, people think about, he's played seasons, and you get hit, and you have so he has to be better about the clock in his head, pull the ball down, go run the ball, whatever it is. But let me say something else from a coaching perspective. When the offensive coordinator is calling plays like we show on TV, where you got two dudes wide open, he should throw the ball. Why would you change your play? You ain't changing your play because the play is there. The kid's not throwing it, right? So what ends up happening is you get entrenched on both sides. Well, should we do stuff for Justin Fields? Yeah, do something for me. Or, well, my plays are working, right? So where is the middle ground where you go, okay, that is where the massaging of a player and a massaging of a coach come together for Eberflus. Is like, at some point you got to bring these guys together because the plays are there. When you see this many wide open plays, you can blame the coach for so long, right? But because we're not getting the ones that I call that are open, and so there's this kind of tension in between of what do we, because you don't want to scrap that play. If that play, why would you throw it away?
Right.
Like, it's open. Like, just here's your read. So you got to coach him up on the ones he's not making, and then give him some in there that he's very comfortable, whether it's an RPO or whether it's a zone read or whatever it is, to get his timing where it doesn't have to correlate between his footwork and the ball coming out on time. Like, there's a lot of things you can do, but the problem with that from a coordinator is you only get so many snaps. So where can you practice them? How do you get better at them? Because I'm just telling you, from a coaching perspective and from a player perspective, you got to get these things joined together, and right now it's disjointed, and that's the part. Everybody can get in camps on which side. It's both and, right? It's not a one. It's a both and. I'm just letting you know.
I think that's the perfect way to put it, and what it adds up to is a mess against Kansas City this week. Guys, you're the best. Thank you, Kmart. Jeff Saturday. As we continue in a moment, Hembo hurt my feelings this morning, and I will explain how right after this on ESPN Radio.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Plus, right now, buy a DeWalt Power Stack battery kit and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free, up to a $249 value. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29. Subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
All right, team. Apps on the table by 7:30 sharp.
Jalen and his catering company have a lot on their plate.
Really particular.
He needs a bigger team to continue climbing up the food chain.
Got this event. Hey, Mitch, was that contract for 200 or 250 people?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
I think black licorice is like being left-handed.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I think it's the same percentage of people like black licorice that are left-handed.
You're partially left-handed.
I'm not left-handed. No,
you golf left-handed.
If you don't.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Get ready. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale September 22nd. Secure your spot and prepare to unleash chaos, make mayhem, and watch stars come to life in the spotlight of postseason baseball. The Brewers moments you live for are coming. Make sure you don't miss a single pivotal pitch or season-changing home run. Get your Brewers postseason tickets at brewers.com/postseason.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service.
It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey.
Riding with you every mile since 1977.
The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you.
We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Muskego's Jack Lavish. Lavish, a junior running back for the Warriors, racking up an impressive season already. Through 5 games, Lavish has 651 rushing yards, including a season-high 149 yards rushing in last Friday's 31-21 Muskego win over rival Mukwonago. Lavish scoring twice in the win as well. The win snapped a 3-game losing streak from Muskego to Mukwonago, something that Lavish, of course, hoping now to carry into next season as a senior as well. The Warriors moving to 5-0 with the win. They are already on the doorstep of clinching a spot in the WIAA playoff field. As for the conference title, Muskego tied at the top with Kettle Moraine, who they will face in the regular season finale on October 13th.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Daniel Holub at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doctor, let's say someone is feeling some pain. That pain, it just will not go away. What's the next thing that person should do?
Get an appointment with one of the specialists at Orthopedic Associates, and we will work through that problem with you.
In your position, you help people get rid of pain. You help them be able to move and be active again. How rewarding is it for you to really see someone regain a certain quality of life?
That's got to be the best part of my job, is seeing somebody that's been struggling either for a short time with a fresh injury or a long time with a degenerative condition, and being able to find a proper solution for them, whether it's just a rehabilitation process or if it's a surgical process, and watching them over the course of weeks to months improve to the point of enjoying life again.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Conditions apply.
All right, we are back on I was about to say Get Up, but what do you mean? Oh, I'm not hearing anything. Am I the only one who's not hearing anything?
I can hear. You can't hear, which is why, hence the delay.
There we go. So apparently we were on the air, but that was not being fed to me. I want to make clear that was not my fault. That's the kind of person I am. If something goes wrong, I want to make sure everyone knows it wasn't on me. All right, Greeny with you here on ESPN Radio. And Hembo has made his way into the studio, and I want it made clear that Hembo hurt my feelings this morning, because Hembo is basically a terrible human being, and I will explain why in 30 seconds after this word from Grainger. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop on by.
I need you to listen carefully.
I just want you to know.
All right, let's bring the assembled members of the hashtag crew assembled around us. Hembo has made his way into the studio here in New York. Bubba and Cam are in the studio in Bristol. Boys, are you with us today?
We are with you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You need to hear what Hembo did this morning. This is, I told Kmart in the break, and she was horrified at your complete lack of social grace.
Sounds about right.
So, I was cleaning out some closets the other day, and I came across a pair of pants. They're very nice pants that I just never wear anymore. For whatever reason, I just don't. But they are, I think, still very much in style, and they are very nice pants. And so I had them hanging here on a hanger in my office. And Hembo came in, and he's in there doing his usual thing. And I said to him, "You see the pants over there?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Do you think they're nice?" And he said, "Yeah, those are nice pants." And I said, "Well, I really never wear them. I'd like someone who would wear them to have them. Would you like them?" So he takes them off the hanger. He kind of opens them up, and he goes, "Oh, I could never wear these. These are much too big for me. You could put two of me in these pants." That's verbatim what he said. "You could put two of me in these pants." He might just as well have looked at me and said, "Gee, Greeny, you are one big fat slob. I certainly cannot put on a pair of your pants." I ask you, am I exaggerating this one bit?
No, I think the only thing that you missed was I said I could jump out of an airplane in these and I could land softly.
What?
He did say that too.
That's a good line.
He said that he suggested that my pants would be a parachute for him. So you tell me right now, Cam, how should I react to this?
You should be offended.
Offended.
And I don't know what Hembo's talking about. You guys are of similar frame.
Yeah, how could they
These
be that
are not
big?
Marcus Spears' pants.
That's my point.
This is Greeny's
I'm
pants.
a thin man.
So
Yeah,
is
I don't
Hembo.
understand.
Your pants should fit him, and his pants should fit you. This isn't Chris Canty.
Take your pants off right now. I want you to take off your pants, and I'm
Yeah,
going to
you
put
guys
on
swap
your
pants.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to fit in your pants.
We can actually play this out. I'm going to change into your hot air balloon pants at the next break. I guarantee you, when I put them on and come in here, you will feel even worse than you do right now.
And I am going to put on the pants you're wearing, and they're going to fit me fine. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to be able to button them.
No.
I'm going to be able to zip the fly.
No.
I'm going to be able to wear your pants.
You don't wear the pants in this relationship, okay?
Let's just make one. Hembo's afraid. You hear this, Bubba? Hembo's afraid that I'm going to fit into his pants. That's what he's afraid of.
He's going to be proven wrong real quick.
What a thing to be afraid of.
That's exactly right.
I'm scared of Greeny fitting into my pants.
Exactly right. But Cam, you're right. He's afraid I'm going to fit into his pants.
And then try on a pair of Chris Canty's pants and see how they fit.
Well, that's the point. Chris Canty is a behemoth of a human being.
Time out.
Okay. He's realized he's gone too far because that line was it just makes no sense. Two of you? I mean,
so Cam
it doesn't make any sense.
And Bubba's objection here is that they think that my statement was inaccurate.
Right.
You seem to take more umbrage with the fact that it was an offensive thing to say.
Well, it's insulting.
It's offensive and inaccurate.
Yeah, both. We were saying both.
It's insulting in any circumstance. Like if a child said, I couldn't wear your pants. Like Stevie can't wear my pants, my son, because he is 6'1" and probably weighs 140 pounds. How tall are you?
5'11".
Okay, so we're basically the same height. What do you weigh?
175.
We weigh exactly the same amount of pounds. I weigh myself every morning. I weigh myself every morning. I weigh 177 pounds. We are the same height. We weigh within 2 pounds of each other. We have the same pants.
Fine, we'll do the pants experiment, and I'm telling you, it's going to make you feel worse.
No, I'm telling you.
I can't wait for
when
this
I
experiment.
fit into your pants comfortably, it is going to make you feel way worse.
I'm wearing my tight pants
Here's
today.
the issue we have. Hembo wears ridiculously tight pants. Like, I've never said this to you, but I'm uncomfortable with how tight your pants are. I'm not sure they shouldn't be a workplace violation.
You're going to be even more uncomfortable when you're the one wearing the tight pants.
You should not be allowed to wear those pants here, like or anywhere public. Okay, like today you're wearing actually a normal human shirt, but you are wearing pants for a much smaller person. Like, I'm not sure where the thinking behind these pants came in.
No, these are fashionable jogger type.
Those are like fashionable yoga type pants is what they are. You should be wearing them to yoga and nowhere else. So anyway, that's how my day starts. All right, I come in here. It's not as if my life isn't awful enough already. My quarterback gets hurt in the 4th play of the season, but I got to come in here and Hembo has to insult my pants. Greeny, starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone with AutoZone. Okay, next order of business.
I'm sorry, what? What?
I'm sorry. What?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry. What?
All right, you know how much we love Chris the Mad Dog Russo in here. He is, as we speak, I assume, on First Take. I don't have a monitor here, but it's Wednesday, so I'm assuming he's on over there, just across the hall. Chris Mad Dog Russo is one of my favorite people. He's one of the people I admire the most in our industry, and I genuinely like. And Chris Mad Dog Russo has a problem. And do you know who he has a problem with? Me. Chris Mad Dog Russo has a problem with Jet fans wanting Kirk Cousins. And he said as much on his radio show on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Guys, hot stuff with Kirk. Why don't you see if you can maybe get Herbert? They're 0-2, he's going nowhere. Why don't you give up a 5th-round pick? See if you can get Justin Herbert here. Why not? What the hell? How about Mahomes? They've won enough. Talk to Clark Kent and see if maybe they'll take, the running back Carter and throw in an offensive lineman. See if you can get Mahomes in here. Why not?
So here's what he's suggesting. He's suggesting that it is completely unrealistic, that he is comparing. See, he's just wrong. He's comparing asking for Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert, young quarterbacks just starting their careers who will clearly be on their team for the next 10 years, to Kirk Cousins, who clearly will not be in Minnesota next year anyway. That's the point. Cousins is not going to be the quarterback of the Vikings next year. If he was going to be, they would have addressed that last offseason. When they let a quarterback go into his walk year, they are telling you what they think. They are 0-2. If they start 1-4, 10-5. They should. It would be organizational incompetence on their part not to at least consider trading Kirk Cousins for something of value. I will make it clear. I know they're not trading him now. They're 0-2. They were a playoff team last year. They may still have a season ahead of them. They're not going to consider it. But if they lose a few more games and they are hopelessly out of it, now what's going to work against me is I don't see anyone in that division running away and hiding. Green Bay, I think, is good, but they're not that good. The Bears are way worse than I thought they were going to be. The Lions are the only team in that division I could see maybe winning 12 games. If that division is won at 10-7 or even something like 9-8, Minnesota probably doesn't fall out of it in time to make a trade. But I do not think that it is reasonable to compare asking for Mahomes or Herbert with asking for Cousins in October. Am I right?
You're 100% right. To equate those three people is obviously just incorrect. I think the conversation, though, that I think the point he is trying to make is a good one, in that talking about trading for another team's quarterback, another team's starting quarterback, through 2 games is most certainly premature. And you have to really tease this thing out for a while to reach this point. The thing that I want to keep coming back to...
No. Explain that to me. What do you mean by that?
I mean, you're really projecting a lot of things.
On their part or on our part?
On your part. A lot of things have to happen for the Vikings to be out of it by Halloween.
No, yeah, of course. I just said that. Didn't I just say that?
Yes.
Right.
You just said that.
Right.
But look, for him to compare Cousins to Mahomes and Herbert is obviously irresponsible. It is also irresponsible for Jets fans to be talking about Kirk Cousins as their quarterback as a fait accompli. It is much likelier that the Vikings keep him because they only will have played 8 games by the trade deadline. Right. This is the thing I don't understand about the NFL. Why is it so early? Like, why is the trade deadline less than halfway through the season? October 31st is the Vikings will have played 8 games. In baseball's trade deadline, you'll have played 110 games. Like, you can actually make an informed decision. Look, I just think it's ridiculously early for the league to decide. Teams should have made up their minds on this by then. That's all.
I get that part of it. But we're having 2 different conversations. Oh, so that's a perfectly reasonable conversation. Should they have a later trade deadline? Because you can trade players at most positions in Thanksgiving, and they still might be able to have an impact. If you're trading for a quarterback, you need to get him as quickly as possible because your chances of him being able to contribute, if you get him week 12, are pretty unlikely. Even if you get him week 8, when could you reasonably start him? Week 11 or 12, whatever. But I mean, it's happened before when quarterbacks get injured. And in this case, the Jets quarterback got injured. So that is a reasonable thing to do. And look, I know the Jet fans are mad at me because it sounds like I'm giving up on Zach Wilson. I will give anything to be wrong. I will come on this show and I will look directly into the camera on both Get Up and on this show, and I will say I was dead wrong if Zach Wilson goes out there and plays well this weekend. 100%. And no one will be happier to do it than me. But I see what I see. We've all seen what we've seen. They're in this position because they're stuck and there's nothing they can do about it. So that's the way I look at it. By the way, I have one more from...
Before we get to that, we're skipping over one of the best parts of that clip.
What?
He referred to Clark Hunt as Superman.
Yeah, he said Clark Kent, not Clark Hunt, the Chief CEO, which is hilarious.
You know what? I didn't understand the Clark Kent.
So funny.
So you mean he's saying that because of Clark Hunt?
Yeah, he thought it was Clark Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt, Clark Kent.
Who is Superman.
That's right. Clark Kent is Superman. Oh, I thought he was trying to make a Superman joke.
No.
You mean he just mistakenly called? Can you just give me that soundbite? Just put that shortened part at the end there.
We'll get it.
While you're editing that, I'll play the other one because I have one more. I haven't heard this yet either, but I'm told it was an adventure when he tried to say the name Chris Olave. Chris Russo has it. There's nothing more I love more than his adventures in trying to say people's names, like when he called Diana Rossini Diane Ruccini. But in this case, I'm told he was trying to talk about Chris Olave. Let's hear this.
Got 2 good receivers. Michael Thomas looks a little more active. Olive's of Olave, whatever. It's the kid from Ohio State. Olave, that's it. Olave, Chris Olave, he's very, very good.
Olave, wait a minute.
Got 2 good receivers. Michael Thomas looks a little more active. Olive's of Olave, whatever. It's the kid from Ohio State.
The kid from Ohio State.
Olave, that's it. Olave, Chris Olave, he's very, very good.
Olave! He is very, very good. Oh, that was a good one. We've lost tempo, right? That was good. Right?
I hadn't heard it before. That was
Me
better.
neither.
Way
That's
better than expected.
gold.
Better than expected.
All right, so let's hear the Clark Kent one here. So this is, so he's talking about calling up Kansas City to trade for Patrick Mahomes. And I didn't even get this. Bear in mind that the owner there is named Clark Hunt.
How about Mahomes? They've won enough. Talk to Clark Kent and see if maybe they'll take, the running back Carter.
That is, I didn't even think that. I genuinely thought he was trying to make a Superman joke that I didn't understand. That maybe was related to something they had been talking about on the show. That's amazing. That's really good. Olave. He's the best. Again, I want everyone to know, we kid about this. We love Chris. I love the man, and no one loves him more than Hembo does. So we are kidding because, I mean, all of this is out of love. I don't want anyone going over to Russo and saying, oh, they were killing you on the show today. It's the opposite of that. We kid with kindness. It's not like Hembo insulting his pants. The man is hilarious. He is a national treasure, and he should be treated that way. Okay, there's something another thing that I really think we need to get in here today, because the power of this program sometimes actually scares me.
Sneaky big news.
I want everyone to follow the things that happened. 2 days ago, we were looking for a bet to place, and Hembo came across odds on Micah Parsons to win the league MVP that were 100 to 1. We talked about it on the air yesterday. We said, we're going to make this bet. I want to make this bet. I believe he's got a chance. I detailed all the reasons why I think he has a chance to win, and we agreed we would make a bet as a show unit. This is a hashtag crew bet. I will front the $100, and if we get it right, then that's $10,000 to split evenly amongst the 4 members of the hashtag crew. Hembo was not able to make that bet legally from the state of New York. We only place bets legally on this show. He had to go back to his home state of New Jersey. I am telling you, for those of you who don't know the geography, to get from where we are sitting through the Holland Tunnel into the state of New Jersey is like 4 minutes. By the time he got there, the odds had moved to 66 to 1. Yesterday, I said that, and then we talked about it on TV. I said on Get Up yesterday, I'm starting a campaign, Micah Parsons for MVP. At this moment, those odds are now 35 to 1. We've moved his odds from 101 to 35 to 1. He was at that time, when 2 days ago, before we started talking about this, he had the same odds of winning MVP as the Bears had of winning the Super Bowl, right? Wasn't that what the odds were?
That's right.
The Bears' odds of winning the Super Bowl. As of our talking about it, he now has shorter odds than Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Deshaun Watson, Matt Stafford, or Kirk Cousins. We have moved. We have unimaginable power here. We need to make sure that we harness this, boys, for good and not evil, because we have the ability to make things happen. And I think it's a great bet. We got this at 66 to 1. This thing is he's going to become the favorite if he has another big week.
Would you still place the bet at 35 to 1 if that's the best you could do?
Yes, because he said it on McAfee yesterday. He's going to start playing tight end. He's going to catch touchdowns. They're going to start putting Micah Parsons on the offense in goal line situations, and he's going to catch a couple of touchdowns. I will put the over-under right now. Wait, let's do this. I'm going to put the over-under right now at 1.5 for the number of touchdowns he's going to score this season. On either side of the ball, he's going to score over or under 1.5 touchdowns this season, Hembo.
Over if it includes defense.
Includes defense.
Over.
Bubba.
Yeah, if you're including defense, I agree over.
Okay, but not offensively?
I'm still hesitant on the offensive part.
I could see 2 on offense. J.J. Watt had 3.
Yep, I can too. He's going to be the MVP. We're going to have had this exactly right. Coming up next, we will break down the absolute worst place in the world to have an important conversation. That's next. This is Greeny on ESPN Radio.
Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors? Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive. Of course. You get it. If you can break it, Gorilla can fix it. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Wilde Automotive is extending Labor Day savings to bring you employee pricing all month long. Save big and pay like you're part of the team. Wilde can't be beat on price, guaranteed. We're passing huge Wilde employee savings on over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles. Go long with Wilde's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. You've worked hard this season. Get the savings you deserve today.
Go to ewaldsauto.com. Hey, this is the Fat Jack. We're in the middle of September. How is your gambling going? It is time to make some money, and I have got a deal for you. My once-a-month $99 weekend special. Go to fatjacksports.com, and this weekend only, it's only $99 to make money all the way through Monday. That's all the football, NFL, and college, and the free bases. Only $99. Go to fatjacksports.com. Sign up today, and in September, into profit, stop guessing, and start winning at fatjacksports.com.
Q Club of Wisconsin is a hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
That's right, Gary. We've got so much going on here. And of course, you know we're your home for green and gold games every week. Plus, book our VIP area for any of your parties, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. And of course, our fish fry piled high on Wednesdays and Fridays.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out QClubofWisconsin.com.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaukee County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by the legendary golfer Arnold Palmer, settled amongst 250 acres of beautiful private land. The Bog caters to golfers of all skill levels, offering a golf experience unlike any other. Come enjoy the finest golf greens in Wisconsin, and after your round, enjoy a bite to eat in our restaurant or out on our new patio bar overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
A bank that goes the extra yard? You got it. Show your love for the green and gold with Packers checking only from Associated Bank. Make every transaction a touchdown with your Packers debit MasterCard. And when you use it at the Packers Pro Shop, at the stadium, or online, you'll get 10% off. Associated Bank's Packers checking scores the home field advantage by delivering Midwest-based customer care, outstanding value, and more. Get in the game and learn more today at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
When you need electrical service, choose the company other companies call. Current Electric has been energizing and illuminating lives in the southeastern Wisconsin area since 1983. They have earned the trust of businesses like Bauer Sign and Lighting, Midas, and Take 5 Car Wash. With 40 years of 5-star service under their belt, they are sure they can earn your trust too. Whether you need residential or commercial work completed or are interested in solar or generators, call the superheroes at Current Electric. Visit callcurrent.com.
The Waukesha Gun Club offers the perfect outdoor activity this weekend. Stop out and learn